Good Friday evening to you from Slinger High School. It's hard to oversell a night like tonight. It's the state semifinal featuring two number one seeds here in Division 5. The top right half of the bracket, out comes the Mayville Cardinals, the number one seed. Arguably, and I would argue, the toughest road to get here for any number one seed was the Mayville Cardinals, and that's including two number ones that fell last week over on the other side of the bracket. We'll talk about that perhaps a little bit later on in the pregame show. But Mayville had to take down probably underseeded WIAA. They were a 4 seed, probably could have or should have been a 3, and then beat Amherst, who I think all season long a lot of people expected to be a number 1 seed last week at Ray Dunn. Now they come here and they face another number 1 seed. That's Lake Country Lutheran. They came out of that lower half of the bracket, beating number 3 New Glarus a week ago. Jordan King, Justin Schwartzmiller down with you on the field here at Slinger. It's a gorgeous night for football, and very little wind that may help out Lake Country Lutheran. We'll talk about that, Justin, but man, it's not hard to get excited for games like this.
What a night, too. Last week it was pretty cold. You get a little bit warmer this week. Supposed to warm up towards the end of the game, which may help Lake Country Lutheran at a point. Obviously, we'll get into injuries at some point tonight, but this game's going to be fun, a battle of the ones, and two teams that have been in the top of Division 5 all year long.
I was just going to say that, not only this year, but you look at the past 5 years, these are two of the teams, two of the programs. I mean, they've met twice in the last 5 years. Back in 2019, they also played in the postseason that year. So not only a little bit of a non-conference playoff rivalry feel to it, but two program-wide success. I mean, these two programs, no strangers to playing this late in the playoffs.
Yeah, Lake Country Lutheran's gotten the best of Mayville a couple times in the playoffs, and that makes a big difference. Mayville, I mean, obviously, most of these kids were not involved with them games, but they all want to win. It's a coaching staff thing. They want to go back and beat this team again.
The Mayville Cardinals running out onto the field. Elsewhere tonight, number 2 Stratford is taking on number 2 Northwestern. That's at Chippewa Falls High School. And so the winners of that game and the winner of this game will meet next week, play for a gold ball down in Madison at Camp Randall. I've seen a lot of predictions on that other game. Pretty much 50-50, pretty split. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pick the team that's going for their 4th state championship. That's the Stratford Tigers. But we got the Cardinals and the Lightning for you here tonight at Slinger. Let's take an early timeout here. We'll come back. We will continue on, tell you more about both of these teams as we get you ready for kickoff here on Radio Plus Video Sports.
Hey, this is Jackie with All Phase Heating, Cooling, and Geothermal, serving Dodge, Fond du Lac, Marquette, and Green Lake counties. Fall is a time for a whole home duct and dryer vent clean. Here's what I mean. Things off kilter? Might need a new furnace cleaning and a filter. Dust and dander? We'll take a gander. We are your home for the Coleman Equipment brand. Call 920-763-2301 or log on to allphasecomforts.com, providing your comfort zone for all seasons.
Hey, it's Bucky. Give us a call, and we'll clean your ducky.
Thank you for your continued support over the past 50 years. At Verhaeg's Furniture Mart, we're honored to have been voted by you to be the best of the best mattress store in the Fond du Lac area for 2024.
Our mission is to bring the best in bedding comfort, technology, and support to the Waupun area.
We've partnered with top brands like Tempur-Pedic, Puffy, Scott Living, Sealy, and Nectar to offer you the ultimate sleep experience.
Free delivery to Waupun and the surrounding area. See store for details.
Come shop at Verhaeg's.
This winter, make your home the coziest place in town with Surefire Heating and Air Conditioning. For 3 generations, the Surefire family has been serving Wisconsin homes, bringing warmth and comfort to your families just like yours. As the temperatures drop, trust the company that's been in the business of keeping homes warm for over 75 years. This is Tom Schwartz with Surefire. Call us today and ask about our rebates that can help you save big on your comfort this coming winter. Visit us at surefireinc.com.
You've dreamt of the kind of home you want to live in for years. Now is the time to turn that dream into a reality. Quest Interiors has you covered with flooring, cabinetry, and countertops all in one place. From kitchens and bathrooms to family and bedrooms, bring your vision to life with professional installation. Visit our showrooms in Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. Quest Interiors, exceptional style, exceptional savings.
dedication, training, giving 100%. Back in Action proudly supports high school athletes on and off the field. From physical and occupational therapy, pre- and post-orthopedic surgery, to work and sports injuries. The staff at Back in Action is trained and dedicated to you and your recovery. Your personal care plan starts with a visit to Back in Action in Fond du Lac, Kewaskum, Mayville, and New Holstein. Back in Action, getting you back in the game. BackinActionRehab.com.
Municipal Well and Pump has helped communities and industries keep water running with expert well drilling, pump installation, and dependable maintenance. Our experienced team is committed, quality workmanship, and getting the job done right the very first time. When reliable water matters most, trust the name built on honesty, integrity, and experience. Municipal Well and Pump, delivering water you can depend on.
From our initial consultation to the final closing, I'm with you every step of the way, ensuring a smooth and seamless home selling experience. My goal is to make the home selling process smooth and worry-free. For a smooth and successful sale, contact Brock Fleischer at 920-960-0555 or visit WeSellWisco.com.
Cool. Glad to have you along here on Radio Plus Video Sports in cooperation with Jeff's live streams. Justin Schwartz-Miller and Jordan King with you down here on the field. You know, we'll go both sides of the field, players to watch, Justin, and, we'll start with Connor Lubbers and Landon Baker. As we do want to give a shout-out to Grant Manti, a Lake Country Lutheran senior, willing to share some photos with us and allow those on our graphics, which are provided by the graphics team at Flyway Focus, which is me. All right, Justin, Landon Baker's been great all season long, tremendous rusher. He also leads the team in receiving quietly this season, 23 total touchdowns, 7 yards per clip. That's gone up in the playoffs as we've gone along. He was averaging just a shade under 7 heading into that WIAA game. Now he's up at 7 yards per carry. A true testament, facing a couple of really good defenses in WIAA and Amherst the last couple of weeks. Your thoughts on Landon Baker?
Had a workhorse of a week last week. 32 carries, 153 yards. To me, when you get a guy that gives you ball to that much, you only had, then you go to, I think it was Schneider with 10 carries after that. That's it. You're relying on him. They're running the ball 50 times a game, and they're giving it to him over half of the time. It's hard to get somebody that you're giving the ball to that much that plays both ways as well as Landon Baker does and get a consistent outcome, but it's there every time.
Tremendous middle linebacker, as you mentioned. How about Connor Lubbers, though? The quarterback wears number 12 for Lake Country Lutheran. 2,000 total yards, 1,500 of those passing, 500 and change on the ground. But the important thing to highlight there is Nathan Graff on crutches here tonight. He's not going to go tonight, and the leading rusher for the Lightning not available. Last week, Lubbers went for $166 and 5 touchdowns, all 5 touchdowns in their win against New Glarus. It's clear that Lubbers knew what it was going to take last week. They needed him to run the football. He hasn't really needed to show it all season long, but he's a double threat.
Yeah, they got a big threat on the outside as well, and that's going to be, a problem we had last week with Mayville and the week before is defensive backs. Lubbers may have to air it out tonight without 2 of their better running backs in the backfield. They're missing their 2 best runners outside of him. So, maybe have to look to the outside. I know I talked to Mayville's coaches a little bit. They're looking to put a little bit more pressure on Joe Promersberger on the defensive back position tonight.
And also with Lubbers, worth noting, he's got 5 picks this year in the defensive backfield, as well as 2 fumble recoveries. He's accounted for 7 of the 13 turnovers that Lake Country Lutherans had this season. And then we go into the trenches. This is a mouth-watering matchup of 2 big guys that are likely going to be All-State. Owen Steger was All-State last year. Adam Anderson is having himself a whale of a season. The Defensive Player of the Year in the Metro Classic Conference, which is that conference with Racine St. Catharines, Shoreland Lutheran, Watertown Luther Prep. It's a good conference down there that Lake Country Lutheran plays in. How about this for Adam Anderson on the defensive side? 64 tackles, 32 of those for loss, 15.5 sacks. Now, they do throw the ball a little bit more in the Metro Classic, and obviously that's why Owen Steger doesn't have as many sacks, doesn't get as many opportunities to get after the quarterback.
Yeah, but 15.5 sacks in high school football, it doesn't happen very often. And he's not relatively a massive guy. 6'4", 215, kind of lean. To be on an offensive and defensive line, for him, it may be a taller task tonight because he's facing a lot of guys that are bigger than him.
You know, it's interesting. When I talked to Coach Hilber earlier this year, earlier this week, he mentioned they do some things up front. They run some games, they do some stunts, and a guy with the athleticism that Anderson brings to the table, obviously, is a big part of that.
Well, yeah, and Mayville's offensive line is going to have to do a great job communicating tonight, trying to take away those stunts, picking up a man and making sure that they know who they're on at every moment.
So those are some names to watch. Stager and Anderson have been tremendous. Again, Stager's forced 2 fumbles and recovered 1. You see it there on the screen. 1 forced fumble for Anderson. He's recovered a pair. All right, and then on the offensive side, we mentioned a couple of players to watch. There's more that we'll get to throughout the game and the pregame show. All right, let's take a timeout here at Slinger High School, and we will return with our Metalcraft of Mayville postgame show right after this on Radio Plus Video Sports.
Rediscover the hometown lumberyard experience in your own backyard. Hi, this is Dave, third generation of the family-owned and operated Lidke Lumber True Value in downtown Lamira. I welcome you to experience what the hometown lumberyard has to offer. Better products, better advice, better service. From one O-ring to all the building materials to build a house, we had the products to get the job done. Hardware, plumbing, electrical, paint, lawn and garden, automotive, bird, and so much more. Come experience what your hometown lumberyard has to offer. Lidke Lumber True Value in downtown Lamira, where the tracks cross Main, or online at lidkelumber.com.
Keller, building trust since 1960.
Computer Troubleshooters of Fond du Lac and Dodge County, providing a full variety of services such as cybersecurity protection for business and residential, password and authentication management, virus removal, device repair, and all support in between. They also sell new and used computers and laptops. Computer Troubleshooters, offering pickup, drop-off, and remote support. Computer Troubleshooters, your trusted technology experts at 322-8566. That's 322-8566. Log on ctfdl.com.
At Bernhardt Plumbing, true craftsmen are who we are. Providing customer satisfaction is what we do.
For new construction or remodeling projects, we cover the full spectrum of plumbing design, installation, and code compliance. Bernhardt Plumbing does it right down to the smallest detail.
Our experience with Bernhardt Plumbing has been absolutely fabulous. They are reliable, dependable, trustworthy, and professional.
Since 1954, a legacy of service, quality, and customer satisfaction.
Gather the gang for a meal at Leroy Meats, Horicon, Ripon, and Fox Lake. Perfect tailgating treats include the freshest cuts of beef, chicken, and pork, along with award-winning sausages and cheese. Remember to stop at the Fox Lake location, now bigger and better than ever, to meet your needs. Leroy Meats also provides venison processing. For precise cuts and the tastiest products, hunters know to go to Leroy Meats. Find this week's lunch menu, coupons, and hours at LeroyMeats.com. Nobody beats Leroy Meats.
Glad to have you again here on Radio Plus Video Sports. Jordan King and Justin Schwartzmiller with you down here on the field, getting you set for a couple of number 1 seats, the Cardinals and the Lightning, here in the state semifinal in Division 5. Let's take another look at Lake Country Lutheran's team leaders. Connor Lubbers, we talked about him already. Not going to have Nathan Groff tonight. Ethan Hans and Parker Baranek, 2 receivers, 526 apiece. They've combined for 12 touchdowns this year. I know this has probably been weighing on the Mayville coaching staff. You were talking with the defensive side earlier, Justin. What's their plan here with these dynamic pass catchers that they're going to see for the 3rd straight week?
Well, they think they can get more pressure, too. And they never really have had the ability to send blitzes and stuff like that because the Flyways are generally a run-heavy conference. You might see a little bit more from Owen Stager tonight. Think about a Drinkwine or a Carpenter. Yeah. Someone like that has to step up on the defensive line. Then your defensive backfield. You have to hope that Promersberger can contain Hans. I mean, he's their guy. He is generally their guy. He's got less catches than Baranek, if I remember correctly, the same amount of yards. Yeah. But You got a speedster on the other side in Baranek. You have to find a way to get help over the top in your safeties.
Just to tell you how impressive it is to have two guys like that, that would have led the Flyweight Conference by some margin, 526, and they got a couple of them here for Lake Country Lutheran. But also on that defensive side, Mayville's getting some reinforcements back here tonight as well, Justin.
Yeah, Devin Wendorf coming back, and he's going to be a safety help over the top tonight. One thing that one of Mayville's coaches did say to me tonight, this is the most interceptions they thought they have had in the last 5 years, and like combined. I mean, you have 5 from Brommersberger and Middlestead combined already this season.
11 total for them, and that's usually something I like to look at this point in the season. Turnovers are always keys in these types of games, Justin. It's 16-13. Mayville's had 16 turnovers this year, and Lake Country Lutheran has forced 13. It's the first game in a couple where Mayville's on the higher side of that. Amherst a week ago, I mean, they were up in the 20s. Mayville was able to win that. That was a big reason that they beat Amherst last week.
Yeah, the turnover battle is big for them, too. And that was also mentioned. They have to find a way to get 2 or 3 turnovers tonight, and somebody's got to step up and make a play. You saw Zitlow last week, stepped up and made a great interception. Have to have someone, maybe Wendorf tonight, steps up and makes a play as he comes back into a more full role in the lineup.
We've told you a couple of times we were going to talk with Coach Scott Hilber. That comes up next as part of our pregame show brought to you by the Metalcraft of Mayville. Appreciate their sponsorship of local high school sports. It's Division 5 state semifinal, and we are about 20 minutes till kick. You're going to hear from Coach Scott Hilber when we return on Radio Plus Video Sports.
We are Hochschi's Marketing Greenhouse, and we have been leading a greenhouse here in Fox Lake since 1981. Family owned and operated, we provide beautiful flower baskets and fruit and vegetables to residents of South Central Wisconsin. We know the importance of having a variety of flowers, fruits, and vegetables available to our customers throughout the year. Discover the finest selection of locally grown produce, including sweet corn, tomatoes, and cucumbers, along with a variety of fresh fruits. At Hochschi's Marketing Greenhouse, we believe in providing our customers with the freshest and highest quality produce. Come visit us and taste the difference.
Looking for a change? A new career that checks all of the boxes? Excellent benefits? A great team culture? And plenty of room to grow? Metalcraft of Mayville is looking for candidates like you to fill openings in Mayville, West Bend, and Beaver Dam. Metalcraft truly believes employees make the difference, offering paid training, top wages, and a regularly sanitized, safe workplace. Apply today at mtlcraft.com.
Metalcraft of Mayville.
Angling-only guide service with Captain Jeremy Brenner.
Captain Jeremy Brenner here. We are the premier Lake Michigan salmon charter out of Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Each trip is 6 hours and includes fish cleaning. The cost is $400 per trip Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and only $340 on weekdays for up to 6 people. I personally guarantee you will catch fish. The season runs June through Labor Day. Contact me at anglingonlyfishing@gmail.com to book today and check out my Facebook page, Captain Jeremy Brenner, Sheboygan Salmon.
At Mayville Savings Bank, we're a bank that is here for you, helping you save money instead of piling on service fees. We still take walk-ins, no appointment necessary. We're a bank where your loan is a local decision, with friendly employees that still answer our phones. A bank that offers online and mobile banking. We're a bank where you're our best interest. Bank at the bank you own. Mayville Savings Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock. With service so good, it's guaranteed.
This holiday season, shop Mayville Ace Hardware and get the perfect gift for everyone on your list. At Mayville Ace Hardware, we help make your holiday gifts memorable.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Generations Lanes of El Dorado. Join one of our adult or kids leagues or bowl in our monthly Friday night tournament. Or get a group together for a family or corporate bowling function. We are more than just bowling. A great spot to bring your family for a meal. Awesome homemade pizzas and soups, as well as appetizers, wraps, and sandwiches. Daily food specials. Fish Fry Friday. Open daily at 11 with the kitchen open late. Ask about us catering your next function. We are home to Laconia Bowling and proud supporter of the Laconia Spartans and all student athletes.
Municipal Well and Pump has helped communities and industries keep water running with expert well drilling, pump installation, and dependable maintenance. Our experienced team is committed, quality workmanship, and getting the job done right the very first time. When reliable water matters most, trust the name built on honesty, integrity, and experience. Municipal Well and Pump, delivering water you can depend on.
Gather the gang for a meal at Leroy Meats, Horicon, Ripon, and Fox Lake. Perfect tailgating treats include the freshest cuts of beef, chicken, and pork, along with award-winning sausages and cheese. Remember to stop at the Fox Lake location, now bigger and better than ever, to meet your needs. Leroy Meats also provides venison processing. For precise cuts and the tastiest products, hunters know to go to Leroy Meats. Find this week's lunch menu, coupons, and hours at LeroyMeats.com. Nobody beats Leroy Meats.
That fumble trying to go in and get the lead with 7 minutes left, at the 35-yard line, that was unfortunate. Having, a player not doing the right thing on that 2-point conversion was unfortunate. But that's how the game played out, and we were the ones at the top at the end when it mattered. But our message to these guys is you're not a Cinderella story. You're not a miracle team. You guys are the number 1 seed. You put them almost 400 yards on not only a good team, but a great program of Amherst, who's used to good playoff runs and state championships, and that says a lot. And I think that went through our kids, and now that game's over. Now everything's focused on Lake Country.
Great program in Amherst. Here's another great program in Lake Country. They find themselves in games like this all the time. I know you guys have seen enough of these guys in the postseason over the last couple of years as well. What can you say about, before we get into the X's and O's, just what they got going on down there? And it's a program that, like you guys, maybe not guys that have necessarily played or have the experience in this level, but program-wide, they certainly have it, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. We saw them in 2019. We played them a level 2, and that was before I was the head coach here, and they went on to state. I think they won state that year. 2021, we had that epic battle a couple years ago. It was a 2-point game. They bring what they normally bring. They bring a lot of great athletes, who know how to run. They know how to run the field, man. And but we're challenging our kids to say, I know we're a ground and pound team, and that's our mentality. But we got athletes on this team too who can run, and we got to get our boys believing that. You're not going out there playing on your heels. You're going to go out there and challenge them and make them earn it. You got to make them earn everything they got. And, we saw them at the scrimmage earlier this year, and, we felt that quickness on both sides of the ball. So everyone's got to be on point this week.
You kind of alluded to it there. Their rushing attack was excellent last week, as it's been all season long. I guess, X's and O's wise as best you can. What does it take to maybe slow that down? Obviously, you guys saw a good rushing attack with both quarterback and running back last week. How similar and how different is it to what you saw from Amherst?
Well, Amherst ran option. They're not an exclusive option team like kind of what they used to be, but they run enough of it that you really got to be disciplined because it changes your fundamentals a little bit. And teams that run a little bit of option once in a while and then they run other stuff, that can be complicated. That's what we do sometimes. We dabble in it, but we're not doing it exclusive. We're not going to see any of that of Lake Country. How they're similar is they got the dual threat. They have a quarterback that can run with the halfback. What our guys got to do a better job of this week is our gap responsibility. We really lost gap responsibility. I mean, they had halfback leading through for the quarterback, 2 guys going through the hole untouched. And that's something that we don't do. We pride ourselves on being disciplined on the defensive side of the ball. We lost our discipline last week. That was tiredness. That was guys going rogue, trying to make plays, and just opening up opportunities for the other team. That's something we absolutely can't do.
It seems like outside looking in, their linebacking core is pretty strong. Again, similar to what you see, no matter who you're going to play at this level. What's it going to take offensively for you guys to figure out how to crack the code against them?
Well, we got to be able to play in space, and our guys, they've been really good on playing on the line all year, down blocks, playing smash mouth football. We still want to play the smash mouth football, and that's the plan, but now we got to get to the second level a little bit more. Some of the things they do defensively, it's a little bit complicated, but it allows your big tackles to have to go to the second level and have to try to get low and block smaller linebackers who, while they're smaller, are just still tough kids, and they know how to run through and they know how to go and hit. So our boys are going to have to work on their hip flexibility this week and make sure they come to base. You're not going to be able to go out there and lay a body blow on a guy. You got to kind of come to base and just absorb him. So we worked on that. We worked on being quick off the ball and snapping, getting to the next level, and then coming down and closing out, getting all these guys ready for basketball season. So,
I guess that's X's and O's. And I know you kind of alluded to this with your first answer, but you mentioned it. You're not a Cinderella story. You said it after the game last week that beginning of the season you didn't put a limit on this team, a cap on this team. You feel like your guys believe that you guys are truly one of the top, 1, 2, 3 teams in the state?
Well, they better, because one thing we also said at the beginning of the year is that we'll never blow smoke. We'll never tell you anything we don't believe. And that was that first conversation I had with them. It was like, I won't ever lie to you. I'm telling you, I don't know how far this team can go, but I'm not going to put a ceiling on it. And we're there right now, and you made it this far. If you can get this far, you got what it takes to go all the way. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I think anyone that's playing in the state semifinals, they have that ability. But, having that ability, that doesn't do you any good. Nothing that you've accomplished the last 12 weeks does you any good either. You got to come 100% prepared, ready to go for this team that's right in front of you.
When you get to this level, turnovers obviously are a big key, but, outside of maybe just taking care of the football, what are a couple of things that you think end up being keys that we look back on after the game's over and say, yeah, that was probably why that team won the game?
Big plays. That was a big reason why we won last week, because we limited the turnovers and we won that battle. You got to limit the big plays. I mean, Lake Country Lutheran is full of them. They make big plays all over the field. We have to be sure not to contest the 50-50 balls as much, go for picks. We got to sometimes we just got to spike those balls, and you got big, tall, athletic guys going for balls, and we do too. But, let's not play that game. Let's just spike it. We got to tackle better, especially better than we did last week. We really struggled with that. I don't know, that all those things right there, that should pretty much do it for you. Limit your penalties. We've been pretty fortunate in that route as well, and we got to keep that going on.
Last one for you, Coach. What's the last thing you're going to say to these guys before they take the field and before obviously the biggest game of the year?
I'm pretty spontaneous. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I wear my heart on my sleeve and live on emotion. The one message we say every game is, don't worry about winning and losing. Worry about making your play. Worry about doing your job. And if everyone, all 11 guys on both sides of the ball, if they come together, and special teams, if you guys all come together, you make your play, you do your job.
Back with more of the Meadowcraft and Mayville pregame show.
Looking for a reliable roofing contractor? WIT Services has got you covered. With 5 years of experience, they specialize in everything from roof repairs to full replacements. Their team is dedicated to quality workmanship and customer satisfaction. Plus, they offer free estimates, so you know exactly what to expect. Whether it's a leaky roof or a complete overhaul, WIT Services is the go-to choice for all roofing needs. Don't wait. Reach out today.
Looking for a change? A new career that checks all of the boxes? Excellent benefits? A great team culture? And plenty of room to grow? Metalcraft of Mayville is looking for candidates like you to fill openings in Mayville, West Bend, and Beaver Dam. Metalcraft truly believes employees make the difference, offering paid training, top wages, and a regularly sanitized, safe workplace. Apply today at mtlcraft.com.
Metalcraft of Mayville.
The Mayville Gun Club proudly supports high school athletics. The Mayville Gun Club is open to the public and welcomes you to enjoy their facilities. Whether you want to sharpen your skills or spectate, you'll love the beautiful clubhouse overlooking 50 wooded acres filled with wildlife. You're sure to appreciate the gorgeous views, along with trap, skeet, and sporting clay course. For all upcoming event information, league details, and listing of membership benefits, visit MayvilleGunClub.com. The Mayville Gun Club, where enjoyment comes naturally.
Happy fall, y'all. Hi, this is Jackie with All Phase Heating, Cooling, and Geothermal, serving Dodge, Fond du Lac, Marquette, and Green Lake counties. Fall is a time for a whole home duct and dryer vent clean. We'll take care of what can't be seen, removing dust, For us, that's a must. And a reminder, get on a furnace maintenance plan now so your home is clean and cozy this fall and winter. We are your home for the Coleman Equipment brand. Call 920-763-2301, providing your comfort zone for all seasons.
Hey, it's Bucky. If you're lucky, we'll be faster than a Derby from Kentucky.
Let me get you in this used car. There's a bunch of...
Yeah, that's what it feels like at most used car dealerships. Pushy sales tactics, pressure, and no peace of mind.
Schaefer Auto makes buying a car simple and safe, with every vehicle inspected, backed by warranty options, and easy financing that fits your budget so you can get approved online and drive home with confidence. Schaefer Auto, no tackles, no pressure, just the right car for you.
Dedication, training, giving 100%. Back in Action proudly supports high school athletes on and off the field. From physical and occupational therapy, pre- and post-orthopedic surgery, to work and sports injuries. The staff at Back in Action is trained and dedicated to you and your recovery. Your personal care plan starts with a visit to Back in Action in Fond du Lac, Kewaskum, Mayville, and New Holstein. Back in Action, getting you back in the game. BackinActionRehab.com.
And we're back here at Slinger High School. Glad to be along with you, Jordan King and Justin Schwartzmiller, and we got Josh Guy directing the ship as he usually does, and he's always got us looking and sounding good. Let's give you the starters here defensively for Mayville. Joe Promersberger, Kevin Keller, Brady Zitlow, Emerson Middlestat, and then Devin Windorf. They're going to be in the back end of this defense. Then in the linebacking core, Take Drinkwine and Owen Brunecki on the edges, Weston Teeters and Landon Baker up the middle, along with Kellen Schaefer and Owen Stager. That's what it's going to look like for Mayville tonight, Justin. On the defensive side, you mentioned Joe Promersberger is going to have a big role to play. Emerson Middlestat always over the top, and those two have really found themselves opportunistic on the defensive side to find some takeaways.
Yeah, these guys they have to deal against taller receivers. Mayville doesn't have a ton of size in that defensive backfield, and you got good athletes over there. It is hard for this Mayville team, I think, for a lot of times for them to defend the pass. We saw the struggles they had against WLA, and Amherst had some moments where they had guys open. They just dropped the football, and Mayville's going to have a real tall task trying to keep people in front of them tonight. Just got to keep people in front of you. Obviously, the rushing attack's probably not going to be the same without the two top runners from Lake Country Lutheran tonight.
Yeah, Nathan Groff is on crutches on that far side, and then Will Schneider, talking to their coaches beforehand, he's not expected to go here tonight either. And so, as you mentioned, those are two of their top three runners, along with Lubbers at the quarterback position. This is the Metalcraft of Mayville pregame show. We are ticking closer towards kickoff, Justin. This is usually when we give a couple of keys to the game. Let's throw out turnovers, because that's always a key to the game. I'm interested in the turf tonight. Obviously, I always think Mayville playing on natural grass is maybe an advantage that they have over maybe some of the other teams, and they obviously want to play that smash mouth football. But we just heard Coach Hilber during that interview. He mentioned their speed, the Lake Country Lutheran speed. He challenged his team this week to say, hey, we got athletes too. We can run too. We can use the turf to our advantage. What are your keys tonight?
Got to find a way to get the ball to your playmakers in space. And by playmakers, I mean Joe Promersberger. And it was talked about a little bit by me and the Mayville coaching staff. They're going to try some different things tonight. And they also got to find a way to stop Lake Country Lutheran. They like to throw things at Mayville. And the last couple times they've played in the playoffs, Lake Country Lutheran likes to change things up, run a couple trick plays. Got to find a way to pay attention and keep your ends. That's the biggest key, too. These ends got to be great tonight. Brunecki and Drinkwine have to find a way to keep Lubbers between the tackles. You keep him between the tackles, he's going to get wrapped up by Teeters or Baker or Stager.
We've seen it all season long. When they set that edge, it just makes it so difficult for opposing backfields, doesn't it? All right, this is the Metalcraft of Mayville pregame show. We're going to take another timeout as we inch closer to kickoff here, and we will return. We'll just about be ready to kick things off between the Cardinals and the Lightning when we return on Radio Plus Video Sports. Stay with us.
Brock Fleischer here with Homestead Realty. I know that buying and selling a home can be stressful. I'm here to help. Are you ready to sell? I have buyers waiting for a home just like yours. Are you looking to buy? I can sell any home that's on the market, and I'm here to get you pre-approved to purchase, along with finding the best loan and lender for your situation. I'll even go as far as arranging movers. For an easier real estate transaction, give me a call. Brock Fleischer, 920-960-0555.
Generations Lanes of El Dorado. Join one of our adult or kids leagues or bowl in our monthly Friday night tournament. Or get a group together for a family or corporate bowling function. We are more than just bowling. A great spot to bring your family for a meal. Awesome homemade pizzas and soups, as well as appetizers, wraps, and sandwiches. Daily food specials. Fish Fry Friday. Open daily at 11 with the kitchen open late. Ask about us catering your next function. We are home to Laconia Bowling and proud supporter of the Laconia Spartans and all student athletes.
At Bernhardt Plumbing, true craftsmen are who we are. Providing customer satisfaction is what we do.
For new construction or remodeling projects, we cover the full spectrum of plumbing design, installation, and code compliance. Bernhardt Plumbing does it right down to the smallest detail.
Our experience with Bernhardt Plumbing has been absolutely fabulous. They are reliable, dependable, trustworthy, and professional.
Since 1954, a legacy of service, quality, and customer satisfaction.
PT Tire and Service has been at 301 East Clark Street in Brandon for over 20 years. The owners, Tony and Pam Sauer, are dedicated to their community and their customers. They serve the auto repair, tire, and wheel needs of customers in Brandon and the rest of central Wisconsin. We're on call 24/7 for roadside assistance and on the farm service for customers. For auto repairs, tires, and wheels, come see us in person or request a quote online. PT Tire and Service, you make the call and leave the rest to us. Call 920-346-TIRE.
We're back here at Slinger High School for just a minute here before we have the national anthem. And Justin, offensively for Mayville, you mentioned getting it to Joe Promersberger, but it all starts with Landon Baker. We've talked about him already. I do want to mention Emerson Middlestat with everything. And we're going to pause here. I apologize. Just got one ear out listening to the PA guy, and we're going to have the national anthem here. So let's step aside for just a minute. We'll come back, and we'll finish that thought here on Radio Plus.
Discover the magic of the holidays at Confections for Any Occasion. Our old-fashioned candy store features Christmas chocolate boxes, gift baskets, holiday wines, cocos and coffees, specialty homemade chocolates, stocking stuffers, and so much more. We're located close to the Horicon Marsh and are open 7 days a week. Confections for Any Occasion, a candy store that is so much more. Now is the time to order your custom client gifts for the holidays.
At the Pioneer Keg, great food meets a fun atmosphere. Dive into their full menu featuring award-winning cheese curds and our homemade pizzas that are simply irresistible. Try the famous Brewmaster Challenge, where the food takes center stage. And if it's Friday, get ready for our amazing Friday fish fry. Check out our relaxed atmosphere, hang with friends, where everyone has a good time. Come thirsty, come hungry, and leave happy. The Pioneer Keg, 122 South Milwaukee Street, Theresa, Wisconsin.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock. With service so good, it's guaranteed.
This holiday season, shop Mayville Ace Hardware and get the perfect gift for everyone on your list. At Mayville Ace Hardware, we help make your holiday gifts memorable.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Back after the national anthem, there are the Lake Country Lutheran Lightning right there, and I was just going to mention Emerson Middlestat last week. Coach Hilbert talked about it. The fumble was unfortunate. Got poked out. I mean, he's trying to make a play. You're going down there with 7 minutes or less than left on the clock. You're trying to make a play. Has that poked out. His response right after that, we talked about it in the postgame show, is just excellent. 50-yard run, got him right back into the ballgame.
Yeah, you got to find a way to get him the football in some space again. They've ran a little bit more wrinkles and a couple offsides, triple options, getting him to pitch the football out, whether he's keeping it or pitching it to Schneider or Promersberger on the outside. He's good when he has the ball in space. It just later in the season they finally started doing that. It wasn't I don't know if it was a confidence thing or just they weren't ready to give him the football in the first 5 weeks of the season.
I have a sneaking suspicion maybe they were keeping it off tape until that Springs game, and really from then on out, that became a big feature of this offense throughout the regular season and here in the postseason. All right, that's going to do it for the Meadowcraft of Mayville pregame show. Meadowcraft of Mayville also sponsors our first quarter of action. Mayville will get the football to start things off. Scoreboard brought to you by Brock Fleischer of Homestead Realty. And our replay sponsor tonight, Bernhard Plumbing. There you go. Appreciate their sponsorship of local high school sports. There's Owen Stagger. He's going to play a huge part here tonight for the Cardinals, you would assume, against one of the best players and that he's probably going to see in Adam Anderson coming up here tonight. All right, we're just about ready for football. Both of these teams have been very good in the return game. Mayville has 3 kickoff returns this season for touchdowns, 2 for Joe Promersberger and 1 for Kevin Keller. And Parker Baranek on the other side for Lake Country Lutheran has a touchdown on a return as well. Here's Tanner Schneider. Schneider cuts up field, and he's going to be out to the 30-yard line. That's where Mayville is going to start its first possession here tonight, Justin.
Yeah, Schneider's the guy you got to get integrated into this offense early. We saw it against WIAA. He was very good. Found a way to run a little bit more physical than he normally does. We thought last week he didn't run as physical as he did the week before. Hopefully we can get him into the offense and early. That was one thing Mayville did last week, which they did not do against WIAA. They got their wingbacks involved early. Have to find a way to get your guys with speed with the ball in space.
So 1st and 10 from the 30, and we are underway here in the state semifinal. Mayville looking for their 3rd trip back to Madison in the last 5 years. Here's Landon Baker, and a good first down run for the Cardinals. He picks up 7. It's going to be 2nd down and 3 for the Cards.
The O-line wins on the first play of the game. Anderson got put down right away, but he's got a tall task. He's got to go against big Colin Ehlers. He's on that right side here. Ehlers at the biggest guy on this Mayville line, 6'3", 265, I believe. And it's going to be, again, this is a good matchup. We don't see a lot of guys that have a height size against this Mayville offensive line. Mayville a little bit bigger than this leaner LCL team.
Yeah, there's always – speed is one thing, Justin, but do you have the power? That's always the question when you go up against this Mayville team. There's a 4-yard pickup for Landon Baker and an early first down. 2 carries for Landon Baker. Coach Hilbert said in the postgame last week, we knew when we got to the playoffs we were gonna ride them. They did it to 34 touches. You mentioned it, 32 carries, 2 receptions last week, 34 touches, and they needed every one of them.
Yeah, and right there, he's doing what he does. He just kind of rolls through a tackle, falls forward, picks up that first down. That's one thing LCL's got to have in back of their mind. They have to find a way to stand him up, which is incredibly difficult.
See if LCL ever goes to a bigger package. They're still got the 3 down linemen with 4 linebackers, and here comes Joe Promersberger. Promersberger nearly gets to the edge. A nice tackle made there by Connor Lubbers, the quarterback for LCL in the secondary. It's a gain of 6.
Yeah, sweep, just a straight sweep for Joe Promersberger. Get him out in space, and him against Lubbers, that's going to be a matchup we're going to see all day long.
And so there's the speed that we were talking about for Mayville, and Coach Hilbert feels like the speed is what LCL brings to the table as one of the feathers in their cap. Coach Hilbert feels like they can maybe not match it, but they can certainly contend with it. 2nd down and 4 from the 47-yard line as Mayville nears midfield. Near side, it's Brady Zitlow out wide. It's the give, and nice penetration by Adam Anderson. And there's the first TFL. They're going to mark Baker back to the line of scrimmage. So maybe not a tackle for loss for Anderson, but you can see why he's got 32 of them with how he just knifed through the backside of that line.
Yeah, good swim move. Went over top, found his way getting through Ehlers. Ehlers got caught going to the second level just a tad bit early, and Anderson wraps up Baker, and Baker still finds a way to fall forward and get himself back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 4. Bronecki comes in at the tight end spot, and this is the biggest package that Mayville can offer offensively. It's with Schneider and Promersberger at the wings. The give straight up the middle. There's Landon Baker. He's stuffed. No, he's able to slither through. Looked like he got stuffed about a yard prior to the line of scrimmage there, Justin, but he falls through a gap, just like we always say. There's a pickup of 5, and the Mayville Cardinals into LCL territory at the 48-yard line of Lake Country Lutheran.
Yeah, did a great job staying low and slipping through that tackle from the linebacker and the defensive end on that far side from LCL. Baker, once again, they're going to ride him. I mean, we may see him touch the ball 8 times on this drive, maybe more.
First snap in opponent territory for the Cardinals comes less than 4 minutes into this one, opening drive of the ball game. Here comes Baker, and he is met in the hole with a nice tackle, but Baker is still able to find 3 yards of space. Anderson was in on the tackle. Also, number 13, Evan Roll. He's another all-conference player at his inside linebacker position.
Yeah, LCL with a great front. They got a good front 7 and their defensive linemen and their linebackers. But what doesn't get talked about a bunch from Mayville is their ability to throw something at you. You're on a 2nd and 7 here. We saw this last week. Mayville got a little bit more open to throw the ball in this situation, or even that little wingback reverse that they run.
Zitlow is out wide. We'll see if they decide to run or throw the ball for the first time tonight. They will not. Big hole for Landon Baker, and he scampers forward for another first down. He needed 7, got about 9, and he's all the way down to the 36-yard line. And that was a beautiful blocked play there. You can see getting up to the second level, Justin there. Big number 72, Colin Ehlers. We've said his name 3-4 times already.
See Stager pulling there and taking Anderson out of that play. Picks him off. Anderson doesn't have a room to stop the run from cutting back inside. Baker, if he's running inside and finding holes and bouncing around, he's great.
So another first down as Mayville just continues to churn it out. Here's a pitch to Schneider, and Schneider picks up a pair. That's the best job Lake Country Lutheran's done on first down against this Mayville rushing attack yet on this drive.
Evan Roll makes the tackle, and again, good job containing the cornerback position, not letting any of the wing backs, whether this time it was Schneider, get to the outside. Schneider has to cut it back up the middle of the field. He got more people to make the tackle in the middle of the field.
Roll, Groff, Tyson Groff, Lubbers in the secondary. They got a lot of talent in that defensive backfield and in the linebacking core. And you see it there is how they're able to move. Here's Promersberger in motion. The give is instead to Schneider, and Schneider is stopped for no gain on the far side of the field. Anderson was there staying home. Also number 52, David Niels, to make the stop for LCL. It's 3rd down and long for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and this is a situation that Mayville has, you would think, struggled with at this time of in points this season, but last week they were great at it. 3rd and longs worked out very well for them. They found a way to get the wingback dive working, a couple other things, a little slip plays, screen plays. Find a way to get somebody a ball in space here. Mayville's got a good chance to pick up a first down.
Zitlow out wide once again at wide receiver. Man in motion is Promersberger. He's going to block for Baker. Baker knifes forward. Can he fall forward for the first down? He lands on a lightning player, and it's going to be very close, but I think he's a yard short. It's going to be 4th down and 1 for the Cardinals. They're going to go quick.
We've seen this from the Cards. They like to go quick in this situation. They know what they're going to do. It's 4th and 1. They prepare for this every week.
And I was at practice the other day. You could hear Coach, when I got out of my car, I could hear Coach Hilbert, NASCAR, NASCAR, NASCAR. That's the quick package. They get back to the line of scrimmage. Here's Baker. He's cut down in the backfield. Turnover on downs. The man who met him was number 65, Noah Ludke. And a turnover on downs on the first possession. Mayville drives it all the way inside the 30, but they get stopped at the 27.
It's actually 66, Will Tedding, that met him in the backfield, and Tedding just came in untouched and wide open, makes a great tackle. Don't see many guys that take down Baker in a 4th and 1 situation. He finds a way to fall forward and keep his legs churning. Doesn't that time. Now we're going to see this powerful LCL offense.
So we mentioned it in the pregame show. Number 21, Devin Wendorf, back out there. He's going to split time with Tanner Schneider, who did a really nice job in his absence at a linebacker position. But Wendorf has a big role as an outside linebacker here tonight. Here's Lubbers on the first play of the ball game, and the give is to Tyson Groff. And a couple of plays we didn't see Tyson Groff on the field defensively. Wonder if maybe they're going to save him a little bit for the offensive game as that running back, as they're down to really the 3rd string runner.
He will be the primary running back tonight. Most of the time we see him in short situations as a power back for LCL.
Lubbers with 4 receiving options out wide. He's going to sprint out to the right and try to cut upfield. He's got a little seam, but he's run down by Owen Stager and friends. Landon Baker was the first man there. Also in on the tackle was 56, Kellen Schaefer. And that time a nice job by Lubbers to fall forward. Mayville had an opportunity to meet him at the line of scrimmage. He picked up a couple.
Good job dancing around a couple guys. Picks up a couple to make it third and manageable, but good job coverage downfield by Mayville. They question their secondary because they don't get tested a lot. Great job there, forcing Lubbers to only pick up a pair.
Perhaps nice to see WLA followed by Amherst, and this isn't such a jarring difference for Mayville this week. Here is 3rd down and 4. Lubbers drops back to pass. He had Baranek, but now he's being run down in the backfield. Owen Stager, you said it pregame, Justin. There's the senior all-stater. Owen Stager drags down Lubbers. It's 4th and forever.
Look at the speed on the big fella. Just tracks Lubbers down, wraps him up at the hips, and drops him. We talked about him getting an ability with LCL being a shotgun team at a smaller offensive line to pick up some sacks tonight. Look at that play from him.
He ran right past the running back, Libum, who was out there to try to chip him. He couldn't even get a hand on him. That's the speed of Owen Stager. Here's Baranek, the wide receiver, on to punt. It's a low-line drive punt, and Keller's got to be careful to get out of there. He does so, as does Promersberger, and it rests at the 34-yard line. And that's where Mayville will take over for its second drive of the game. A really big 3-and-out there for the defense to post up after the offense turns it over.
You turn it over on 4th downs, and you get a 3-and-out against this LCL offense to start. Mayville's defense looked very good to start there. They kept everything contained, didn't let Lubbers get really outside the pocket a lot. That's one thing you're going to see. I mean, Mayville's got to find a way. Again, we got to say, someone's got to get in there on a rush. You can't let their receivers get a chance to bounce around downfield.
3:13 on the Brock Fleischer Real Estate scoreboard. And Mayville's second drive of the ball game upcoming here. Starting from the 34-yard line, and looking at the time on the clock, Justin, it's another Mayville ball game as the first quarter is almost evaporated. Here comes Promersberger, the give to Baker. No, it's going to be a keep. Here's Emerson Middlestat. Middlestat's got a seam. Middlestat to the 50, 40, 35, 30, dragged down inside the 30 at the 26-yard line. Emerson Middlestat takes it from his own territory down to the 28 is where they're going to mark it.
Yeah, check in on this Bernhard Plumbing replay. What a run from Middlestat. We talked about getting him involved in the running game, and what a job faking it. I mean, everybody in the building thought Landon Baker had that football. He kept it on that back hip and powers up the middle. We talked about Lubbers. What a run from Emerson Middlestat.
38 on the carry for Emerson Middlestat. And just like that, this is about where Mayville had it on their previous drive. Schneider goes in motion, give to Baker this time, and he tries the left side, picks up about 4. It's going to be second and medium for the Cardinals. And the last thing we said before the game, we talked about Emerson Middlestat and his emergence in the run game. There you go.
And we don't talk about his speed a lot. He gets overlooked because there's so many athletes on the field in this wing tee for Mayville. I mean, he's a fantastic defensive back. That's a breakaway speed right there. He powered through that hole, and Lubbers, he ran right by him, and we know what Lubbers is capable of.
No doubt. Maybe he lacks that Joe Promersberger top-end speed, but who has that? Not many. Here is the give. Baker going to try the right side this time, see if he can get out to the edge. He cuts up field and spins inside the 20. Down to the 18-yard line. We'll check the spot. It's going to be very, very close to a first down. And it looks like they're inches short, so it's going to be 3rd down and inches. And I think they're going to stop. There it is, stopping the clock. It's a first down for the Cardinals. So White Hat came in, overruled it, and they're going to move the chains, Justin.
Mayville moves into the red zone, working their horses. I mean, you got to find a way. Oh, that new graphic there, Josh. Look at that, the red zone graphic. Into the red zone at the 18-yard line. We'll see what this Mayville offense draws up.
Always throwing some new tricks in there. That's why he's the best. Here's Mayville back to the wing tee. Schneider in motion. The give to Schneider. Schneider left side, falls forward, and spins for a gain of 5. It's second and medium once again. That's where Mayville's at their best, when they're picking up 5, 6 on first down.
And that's what they want. They have that breakaway speed, the ability to make a big play like that, but they want to grind you out. They want this clock to be done with this first quarter. They're okay picking up this first down and then having a first and goal situation to start this second quarter.
You know, Justin, something that Mayville has really set themselves apart for, whether you look at Springs or Lamira or WLA in the Flyweight Conference last week against Amherst, they've capitalized when they got down into the red zone all season long. Here's Schneider. He's going to be driven back, and a big loss on the play. Nice job by Lake Country Lutheran to stay home on the far side. I think that was, once again, number 52, David Niels, I believe, on that far side, who stayed home, made the play.
Yeah, Niels and company there. Great job. Again, LCL with great penetration. They had 4 guys flock to the football there. That doesn't happen a lot. You see 4 guys lose from Mayville, and those guys be able to get in there. Now you're in a third and a little bit longer situation. You don't have to snap it. I think we'll take this right away to the second quarter.
Mayville's going to walk off the field, and they're going to take the break, as will we. First quarter is done. It's scoreless, 0-0 between the Lightning and the Cardinals. We'll have the second quarter when we return here on Radio Plus Sports.
Gather the gang for a meal at Leroy Meats, Horicon, Ripon, and Fox Lake. Perfect tailgating treats include the freshest cuts of beef, chicken, and pork, along with award-winning sausages and cheese. Remember to stop at the Fox Lake location, now bigger and better than ever, to meet your needs. Leroy Meats also provides venison processing. For precise cuts and the tastiest products, hunters know to go to Leroy Meats. Find this week's lunch menu, coupons, and hours at LeroyMeats.com. Nobody beats Leroy Meats.
We're back here for the second quarter of action, brought to you by Maxwell Plumbing. And the Mayville Cardinals in the red zone, and perhaps I risked jinxing them there. Oh, yeah, they got the mascot out tonight and everything. Do the Cardinals. It's third down and long here, Justin. On the first drive, they faced third and about this distance. Baker got it down to a 4th and 1, and then they turned it over on downs. We've seen them go to that reverse, that misdirection play a couple of times over the last couple of weeks. We'll see if that's the plan here tonight, where they hand it to Promersberger and he pitches it to Schneider.
They've had a little bit more willingness to throw the football in this situation as well.
Here is Middlestat, going to pitch it to Promersberger. Promersberger, far side of the field, and he's not going to get it. He's going to pick up about 2 yards. A nice play on that far side by Leibum, Brad Leibum. And he drives Promersberger out at about the 14-yard line. So it's 4th down and let's call it 5. And it looks like Mayville's going once again.
Yeah, there's the triple option play that they also run in that situation, in those long situations again. Now you're at a 4th and 5, and you got to try to draw something up here. I mean, you can try to give it to your horse, but this is too long of a situation to have Landon Baker only for this.
And it's an 8-man box right now for Lake Country Lutheran. Man in motion is Tanner Schneider. They're going to throw for it. Here's Emerson Middlestat looking out to Schneider. Schneider's got it. Trips, and it's going to be close on the spot. We'll check the spot. Looks like he picked it up. It is a first down based on the far side field mark, and they're going to let the white hat take a look at it. Looks like a first down. It is. And Tanner Schneider, there you just saw it on the Bernhard Plumbing replay. Oh, he had a lot of green grass ahead of him there, Justin, and he just picked up enough.
That was a touchdown. It was plain and simply a touchdown. He just tripped in maybe a turf thing. We talked about it. But last week we had Mayville slipping a couple times. Landon Baker slipped a couple times against Amherst and against WLA. So turf is what turf is. I mean, for a team like Mayville that just doesn't play on it a lot, it's different.
First down and goal from the 8. Here's Baker. Baker straight up the middle. It gets it down to the 6-yard line, and he's taken down there. So a big 4th down pickup of 5 yards to Tanner Schneider. And you'll keep that one circled if Mayville isn't able to escape with a touchdown here, Justin, as it probably should have been 6.
Yeah, and even look at the fact of you have a good kicker in Milsna as well. That field goal's, 35 yards-ish? Milsna can hit that every day, but that's just confidence in your team to win on a play from your coach.
Probably feel like field goals aren't going to get it done tonight as well. Second and goal from the 6-yard line. Here's Baker once again. Well blocked by the Cardinals. Baker into the end zone. Touchdown, Mayville. And they draw first blood here tonight in the state semifinal. Landon Baker with touchdown number 24 for number 24.
And that's just him following his blockers, using a hand on a hip, cutting back, finding holes, gets wrapped up, but just falling forward into the end zone as he does every single time. Mr. Consistency, Owen Mills on attack on the extra point.
So difficult talking about Mayville with just their – if they don't block you up well one play, the odds are they're going to block it well the next time with that offensive line. Here's Milsna on for the extra point. It is good. It's 7-0 on the Brock Fleischer Real Estate scoreboard. Let's take a timeout. We're back with more after this on Radio Plus.
Join Ahern and build a better future. Ahern is a mechanical fire protection and fabrication contractor that's been doing business in our community for over 145 years. They're now hiring and typically recruit over 180 positions from across the company. Trades, apprenticeships, office professionals, internships, and much more. Log on to aherncareers.com to learn about the company and the positions they're looking to fill. Build a better future for yourself and your community. Go Cardinals from Ahern.
We are back. A 66-yard scoring drive for Mayville. 2 fourth-down conversions on the drive, and it's capped off by a 6-yard touchdown plunge by Landon Baker. 7-0 on the Brock Fleischer Realty scoreboard. Here's Connor Stipik on the return. He's got some room out to the left side, broke a couple of tackles, and Stipik is dragged down at the 33, and that's where Lake Country Lutheran will start its second series after going 3 and out. One note from up in Chippewa Falls, 6-0 at the end of the first quarter between Stratford and Northwestern. Northwestern leads Stratford as that first quarter was
that fumble
down into or right outside of the red zone, so the Tigers are driving in that one. Winners of those 2 games meet at Camp Randall next Thursday at 4 p.m. That's when the Division 5 game is, and I know Coach Hilber, he'd love to be back down there. Speaking of Coach Hilber, he's going to take a timeout here to start a possession. He's not thrilled, and he'll head out there and speak with his team. Let's take a timeout as he does. 7-0, the Cards lead. Back after this on Radio Plus.
Katie's Log Cabin is a great place to stop for lunch or dinner, grab one of the daily specials, or check out the full menu. Katie's Log Cabin specials include Tuesday is pizza, Wednesday is wings, Thursday is a rotating special, Friday and Saturday is fish fry, Saturday is also prime rib, and Sunday is a broasted chicken dinner. Not in the mood for a special? Katie's has you covered with full menu options, appetizers, salads, wraps, pizzas, and sandwiches. Katie's Log Cabin Restaurant in Oakfield. Life is better at the cabin.
We return here on Radio Plus. Great shot there of Owen Milsna, the hero from a week ago. His onside kick that bounced perfectly right into the arms of Dom Schulke, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah, you're unnoted there from that Northwestern Stratford game. Mayville and Northwestern, the only 2 undefeated teams left in Division 5.
LCL this year was 11-1. Their only loss to Racine St. Catherine's, who got kind of shockingly knocked out of the playoffs last week up in Division 4. Nice tackle on the near side. Kevin Keller was the first man there and just got a hand on Baranek to hold him up and allow the cavalry to come. And that was something Coach Hilbert talked with me after we were done with the interview. He said last week, we mentioned the big run where Keller was not able to bring down Aiden Nerdahl from Amherst. And he said, we had 3 players on that play standing and watching him try to bring down 6 foot, 210 Aiden Nerdahl. I told our guys we got to rally to the football. Good example there on first down. Ends up being a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Here's Groff once again. He's driven backwards, hit at the line of scrimmage. Schaefer was in on, Teeters was in on that. Or was that Schaefer?
It was Schaefer and Stager. Your 2 big boys getting in there, and we talked about it before the game between Carpenter, Schaefer, Stager. They find a way to get in there right away. There's a size mismatch here. Mayville's got a lot bigger defensive and offensive linemen, a lot leaner look from LCL in this more of a spread-style offense.
So LCL in obvious passing down situation here on 3rd down and 11 What does Lubbers have up his sleeve? He looks to the near side, now surveys. Over to the far side, he's going to have to scramble. He's being chased by Schaefer, cuts back upfield, stays in bounds, dives forward. He's going to be just short. And I think they're going to give him the line to gain here based on the stopping of the clock. I think that's going to be enough. Needed 11, he got 11. And it's going to be a first down. And right there, a couple of Mayville Cardinals thought he was going to run out of bounds. You got a big quarterback like him, got to keep him in.
Yeah, just
Make
a little
that
bit.
Tackle.
Couple over pursuits there. Carpenter gets too far in front of Lubbers, gives him that cutback lane, and that's a guy you can't give a lane to make that move because he's going to make that move every single time. And just caught arm tackling. Lubbers breaks through and falls forward for the first down.
You saw it there on the replay. Excellent spot by this officiating crew, and it's a first down. The first down for LCL. Otherwise, it would have been back-to-back 3-and-outs. Here is Lubbers on an option to the far side. He's going to run it, and he's going to dive forward for a pickup of 4, second down and 6 here for the Lightning. And maybe that just settles Lake Country Lutheran down a little bit after Mayville was really heaping on some pressure defensively, Justin.
One thing we talked about with WLA is a pickup of about 5, I think they'll say, is on that one after the spot. But WLA does a great job hitting the quarterback on an option play. Mayville needs to find a way to get Lubbers hit. If you're running an option with him and he pitches it, you got to go through him.
Good point. Talking to WLA's coaches all year long, that was something they wanted to pride themselves on. And I know Mayville also believes they're a physical team. Here is Lubbers, far side, and he's driven back. Ball's on the floor. Let's check who's at the bottom of the pile. It's the Cardinals. Didn't see who poked it out, and I didn't see who recovered it. But Devin Wendorf was out of there like a bullet out of a cannon there. And so I think he might have been part of this up from his safety spot.
We talked about it before the game. You have to find a way for someone to make a play. Ball's poked loose. You can see it on the ground right there. Wendorf diving on top of it at the end. Looked like Stager and Baker were in there wrapping him up. But that's it. That's just Mayville. Getting multiple guys to the football. In that situation, when you have him wrapped up like that, you go for the ball. You send somebody to try to poke that ball out.
So Mayville gets the ball at the 50-yard line for their third possession, and here goes Landon Baker back to work. Goes Baker, and he picks up a quick 5 back into LCL territory, and this has been quite the start for Mayville, and I'm not sure if LCL was happy that maybe they thought forward progress had been stopped on that far side. I saw a couple of coaches clarifying some things with the officials over there, but Mayville doesn't mind. It's second down and 5.
Yeah, that was a long time for no whistle to be blown because how quick that whistle was on Baker's forward progress attempt.
You just wonder, right?
It's just two different things.
You just wonder if maybe there was a point made on that far side. Here is Baker once again, dives forward, and he's going to slither his way to another first down and gets out to the 40-yard line. Another first down for these Cardinals, Justin, and we can't keep track of all the stats up here, but they got to be 7-8 first downs already here in this first half. And look at that clock ticking underneath 7 minutes here on this next play.
This is exactly what Mayville wants. They know that they have to take away the big play ability from LCL. In order to do that is to have the football in your hands at all times. Take away the clock. I mean, we talked about it a little bit in the commercial we had there. Mayville's had the ball for 13, 14 minutes already. LCL's had it for 2.
Yeah. It was the only way they stopped Amherst last week, wasn't it? It was their only effective defense was keeping the football. Here goes Baker. Nice seam on the left side. He's off tackle, picks up 9. It's going to be second down and short as Landon Baker and this offensive line starting to impose its will on Lake Country Lutheran here a little bit. And it's second down and short.
Again, a guy like that, it's so fun to watch Mayville's running backs run. They set up their blocks so well in space. They let their guys get to the second level. They don't run that real power burst of speed, just trying to find holes to slither through.
So what does Mayville do here on second and short? See if they go up, and they are going to run a little option here, and it's Promersberger out in space. Promersberger around the edge, inside the 20, inside the 15. He's upended at the 14-yard line. Joe Promersberger on a pickup of 17 yards. And once again, Mayville into the red zone. And it's going to be a timeout here for Lake Country Lutheran as they want to get their bearings about them. Justin, we'll get your thoughts on that when we return here on Radio Plus Video Sports. Mayville leads it 7-0, and they're driving.
At Bernhard Plumbing, true craftsmen are who we are. Providing customer satisfaction is what we do.
For new construction or remodeling projects, we cover the full spectrum of plumbing design, installation, and code compliance. Bernhard Plumbing does it right down to the smallest detail.
Our experience with Bernhard Plumbing has been absolutely fabulous. They are reliable, dependable, trustworthy, and professional.
Since 1954, a legacy of service, quality, and customer satisfaction.
So Mayville has it first down and 10 from the 14-yard line. Their second trip into the red zone here on as many drives. Justin, you just mentioned it there during the break, the progression of Emerson Middlestat. And we've both seen this team, 7, 8, 9 games this year. Just from the start of the year to now, the decision-making there, the late pitch, perfectly timed, could not have done it any better.
Yeah, he had the first down. I mean, he knew that he had Promersberger with space. Lubbers chose him. He made the right pitch. He got to the outside. That's an extra 10 yards Mayville didn't have on that play.
It's a great point and well spotted. Far side is Brady Zitlow with Baker in the backfield. Here goes Landon Baker once again. Tries the left side, and he's had a lot of success just going between the left guard and left tackle, Justin, kind of whether it's that A gap or the B gap, he's had a lot of success on that left-hand side. Picks up 6 there, make it 5. It's going to be second down and 5.
On that left side is where you got Carpenter and you have Big Owen Stager. We talk about Carpenter a lot.
Yeah.
He gets kind of mismentioned. He doesn't come up a lot from this Mayville team, but he's an unsung hero at that left guard position.
And I tell you what, when he missed those first, they weren't as effective. Now they still won. They're still undefeated. They weren't as effective when he missed a couple of games early. Here goes Middlestat. Middlestat on the keeper. End zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. Emerson Middlestat keeps it. And once again, 3 different people, 3 different defensive players here. You can see them on the Bernhard Plumbing replay. They take down Landon Baker. They had no idea.
But look at where he's got that football.
Yeah,
right on his back hip. Ryan Clark did it last year, and he did it perfectly. I mention it every broadcast because I've never seen a quarterback that hit it as much as Ryan Clark did. Baker does a great job selling, keeping his hands over top of what could be the football. Middlestat with a 9-yard touchdown run.
Good snap, good hold on the PAT. Milsna is perfect yet again, and it's 14-0 on the Brock Fleischer Real Estate scoreboard. 5:01 to go, a 50-yard scoring drive for the Cards. Let's take a timeout. We're back with more right after this. Stay with us.
Discover the magic of the holidays at Confections for any occasion. Our old-fashioned candy store features Christmas chocolate boxes, gift baskets, holiday wines, cocos and coffees, specialty homemade chocolates, stocking stuffers, and so much more. We're located close to the Horicon Marsh and are open 7 days a week. Confections for any occasion. A candy store that is so much more. Now is the time to order your custom client gifts for the holidays.
We return. There's Emerson Middlestat. You know, his passing statistics don't jump off the page at you, Justin, because he just does not, Mayville just does not throw the ball very often. On the return to the up man, it's going to be LCL's ball at the 35-yard line. That kick that time covered up by Evan Roll. But Emerson Middlestat hasn't needed to throw the football. He's been capable when he's been asked to. He was tops in the flyweight conference in terms of completion percentage, but last by a large margin in terms of attempts. And obviously, you mentioned it there with the mechanics of his ball fakes. He's just been so good down the stretch here for the Cards.
It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch when you have a quarterback that can run a triple option style offense or a wing T like this.
Here is Lubbers. He's going to try to get his lightning going here in this third possession. He's going to go deep. He's got a man down there. Promersberger's with him, but it's caught. What a play by number 14, Ethan Hans. Their leading receiver goes up, climbs the ladder, and it's a pickup of 50 yards. Check it, 40 yards on the pickup. The deep ball from Lubbers to Hans.
What a catch. You see it here on that Bernhard Plumbing replay. Hans doing a great job high-pointing the football, and we talked about it. Mayville may struggle against height like that on the outside. They struggled against Caleb Wild. Han does a great job getting inside positioning on Promersberger and making that catch.
Saw two different Mayville coaches make the spiking motion. That was the message all week in practice. Spike those down. Promersberger couldn't there. Here goes Lubbers. Reverses direction. He's got a man out wide. He's got the ball. It's through the hands of number 19, Chase Schomburg. Lubbers just made an incredible play, a perfect throw, and Schomburg couldn't pull it in. Schomburg, excuse me.
You see Kellen Schaefer slip there trying to chase down Lubbers, but Lubbers, what a great job keeping the play alive, spins his hip, looks all the way across the field. That's one thing Mayville cannot let happen. They can't let the wide receivers from LCL have that much time and Lubbers be able to make a playmaking situation at the quarterback position.
That looked like Josh Allen running around back there trying to heave one down the field. Here's a screen pass to the far side. It's going to pick up about 4 or 5 depending on the spot. It's Ethan Hans once again out wide, so he's got himself 45 yards or so receiving here on this drive alone. And they're going to stop the clock here. Might have had an injury on the far side that they stopped that one for. So just going to get the ball reset. It's going to be 3rd down and 6, Justin.
Yeah, and this is 4-down territory, in my opinion. You're at the 26-yard line. You're already down 2 scores. And Mayville has a powerful offense when they run that little 2-3 minute drill. It's very up-paced.
Mosier and Hans out wide, and now Coach Hilber is going to take another timeout with 3:40 to go in the second quarter. Let's take it with them. When we return, we will have 3rd down and 6 for you here from Slinger High School. Mayville leads it 14-0 on the Brock Fleischer Real Estate scoreboard. Back after this.
This winter, make your home the coziest place in town with Surefire Heating and Air Conditioning. For 3 generations, the Surefire family has been serving Wisconsin homes, bringing warmth and comfort to your families just like yours. As the temperatures drop, trust the company that's been in the business of keeping homes warm for over 75 years. This is Tom Schwartz with Surefire. Call us today and ask about our rebates that can help you save big on your comfort this coming winter. Visit us at surefireinc.com.
A 3rd down and a big one coming up. That's why Coach Hilber used that timeout, Justin. Another score update from Chippewa Falls, 12-0 Northwestern with about 5.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter in that one. So that one's also moving right along like our game here. And here is Lubbers with a big 3rd down. 2 receivers to either side. He's going to keep it straight up the middle. Try to draw, and he is cut down at the line of scrimmage. It was Drinkwine along with Stager, and they got some penetration right there, Justin.
Untouched, Tate Drinkwine goes straight in. He stood up in the hole by Baker and Stager. What a play by this Mayville defense, and a big one. Now you got to stop here on 4th and 5.
You mentioned it there with Landon Baker. I missed him on the live call. He had his nose right in there, and that's the unsung part of Landon Baker's game that we've seen this season. Once again, 2 receivers to either side for Lubbers. He sends Baranek in motion. Baranek, the slot receiver, comes across the formation. He comes free, but Lubbers is under pressure. He throws it back to Baranek. It's short, and it's a turnover on downs. He had Baranek over the middle of the field. You see Parker Baranek come free, but at that point he was running for his life from Owen Stager.
And he got popped at the end of the play, but the right play by Stager. When he gets rid of that football, make him think twice about running around like that. You have to find a way to get him a little bit more physically trained in this game. He plays both ways. He's obviously a defensive back, but Owen Stager doing a great job. One, keeping his hands down, hitting him through the chest, and just knocking him out of bounds.
So Mayville has 2 minutes and 50 seconds with just 1 timeout with which to work here before halftime, with a 14-0 lead. And they start this drive at their own 25-yard line. Under center, the give to Baker. Baker this time is cut down after just 2 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 8.
I would think we see Mayville maybe go NASCAR here, see a Going to take out Stager, give him a rest. Weston Teeters will check back in. But I think they pick up this first down. I think this first down is key, and we'll see Mayville probably go into that NASCAR package.
Everyone is invited to enjoy delicious chef-created cuisine at the Meeting Place, located within the Mayville Golf Course. View the menu, specials, and upcoming events at themeetingplacemayville.com. The Meeting Place and Mayville Golf Course proudly support high school athletics. 2nd down and 8 upcoming here for Mayville. And back to the wing tee they go. Here is Tanner Schneider. Had a seam, and he cuts forward. By that time, the nice job done by the LCL linebacking core to fill those gaps, Justin, and stop Schneider for a pickup of about 4 or 5. It's going to be 3rd down and medium. Could have been more.
I almost would like Schneider to keep going. The outside there, it was a good seal block on the outside by Bronecki. He had a lane to come around this outside and get to the sidelines and maybe pick up that first down. It looked like he had more room, just cut it back up in the middle of the field.
Lake Country Lutheran does have 2 timeouts, and if they get a stop here, we'll see if they use one. 1 minute and 26 seconds left here. The ball on the turf, and it's LCL's football. Came out of the hands of Emerson Middlestat, and Lake Country Lutheran with an opportunistic defensive play, and they get their offense right back out onto the field.
And your big gun gets on top of that football. Adam Anderson falls on top of it. Just a little bit of a mis-exchange right there. Was again, they're trying to run that option play, fakes the handoff to Baker, and Middlestat just kind of caught up in his hands, dropped it. Looked like he had a pitch lane to his running back on the outside, but now you're Mayville, you have 1:23. You have to get a stop here against this LCL team because they get the ball at half.
Big chance for Lake Country Lutheran to get back into this one. As you mentioned, could double up here at the end of the first and to start the second half. Trips to the left. Here's Lubbers, going to go back to the right. He's taken down by Colton Carpenter, who just met Lubbers and swung him down for a loss of 2.
He just jumped right on his back. You'll see it here on the Bernhard Plumbing replay. Jumps on his back, and Keller with a great job coming in for the knees. Gets thrown down. Again, Mayville, you talked about it with Hilbert. They have to find a way to flock to the football. You have 3 guys coming in to make that tackle on Connor Lubbers.
Lake Country Lutheran has only attempted 1 field goal this season, and it was by Noah Ludke. So we'll see if that would even be an option for them here as this first half comes to a close. Here's a screen pass over to the far side. Nice dump off from Lubbers, and a good job to, they're going to say sliding down inbounds was Connor Stipik, and that's going to force a timeout from Lake Country Lutheran. He could have stepped out of bounds, but it's going to cost LCL a timeout. As you can see here on the far side, yeah, he does slide down inbounds there, Justin, and it's going to cost, as I mentioned, Lake Country Lutheran one of their 2 timeouts. So let's take the first one here, and then we will come back and finish out this first half here at Slinger. Mayville still leads by 14.
From tires and transmission, batteries and brakes, to engines and exhaust, the service experts at Mayville Tire are trained to keep your vehicles at peak performance. Whether you need routine maintenance or reliable repairs, you can trust Keith and his team to take care of you and your vehicle. Ask about free pickup and delivery, no interest financing, as well as commercial truck tire service. Find the service experts at MayvilleTire.com. Mayville Tire, honest mechanics, happy customers.
Back here out of the timeout, it's going to be 3rd down and 1. Sawyer Utek is a freshman. He's kicked 41 of the PATs. He's made 37. Noah Ludke, 3 for 3, and he's kicked the only field goal as well. So that's the kicking situation for Lake Country Lutheran. Doesn't seem statistically like there's a ton of confidence in it, at least. Here is Lubbers coming to the near side, throws it up. It's batted away at the last second, spiked away by Joe Promersberger. They were looking for Hans yet again, and that's that spiking that the coaching staff was talking about.
Talk about the double over to the top here, Wendorf, but what a job by Promersberger at the last second. Get his hands in there, break it up, knock it out of the hands of Hans. Now it's 4th and 1.
Big 4th down here with 27 seconds left. LCL not going to opt to kick the football. In at running back, number 16, Tyson Groff. We've said his name a couple of times. Lubbers, though, probably the bigger threat to run this thing and try to pick up the first down. Instead, it's going to be a screen far side, and it's going to be a first down. First catch of the night for Gavin Mosier, and it's a pickup of about 5, make it 6 down to the 13-yard line. And LCL will see if they get their play call in. There goes the clock. It's ticking under 18, 17, and there's the timeout. After about 5 seconds goes off the clock, LCL then takes their last timeout of the half here, Justin. We're going to keep it right here. 15 seconds left. Put yourself in Lake Country Lutheran's shoes here. What are you looking to do? Try to put the ball in the end zone here and tighten this thing back up.
Yeah, you got size mismatch. I mean, Mayville's going to double Hans. You saw it on the last play. They did double Hans. They had Wendorf over the top. And, again, you throw the ball to your playmaker. You have to find a way to get the ball in your playmaker's hands. Hans is their playmaker. And Lubbers has a great ability to extend a play, and that gives Hans more of an ability to find a way to get open.
Hans, Baranek, Mosier, these are the names to look out for in these last 15 seconds for Lake Country Lutheran as the ball sits at the 13-yard line, and it might as well be first and goal. Yes, you can get the first down at the 3-yard line, but you're probably not going to have much time to run 5 plays anyways, so it might as well be first and goal here for Lake Country Lutheran. One receiver to the top, that's Hans. 2 receivers to the near side with Mosier and Baranek. Hans, they're looking that way. Here is Lubbers, steps up in the pocket, has Hans at the goal line. Touchdown, Lightning! Hans catches it at the goal line, and Lake Country Lutheran is right back in it.
Yeah, he's doubled, too, and he just wins. He beats 2 defenders, and it tells an athleticism right there. Just a quick little comeback route. He just stops in the middle of the end zone. Good job step up in the pocket by Lubbers. Fires it into the end zone. Wendorf not there in time. Promersberger. Both of them kind of got caught watching. Didn't really step into Hans. You kind of have to be more tight on him to be able to make a play.
Here comes the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and UTEC is good from the extra point. And so that just changes everything with a couple of minutes left in this first half, or excuse me, a couple of seconds left in this first half. And as you mentioned, Justin, LCL gets the ball to start the second half. Now they'll look at the touchdown.
Yeah, this Bernhard Plumbing replay. You're going to see it. Hans just waiting for that ability. He puts his hands up. He knows he's open. Wendorf and Promersberger just a step and a half late. You have to be tighter to a receiver of his caliber. You can't let him get any kind of separation.
Even kind of a pull there from Promers, but you could see him rip part of the undershirt away. And there is a great call by the official as well. He's in when he gets control of that. I know we're not at the best angle there, but certainly looked like that was the correct call on the touchdown for LCL. So that gets the Lightning back into this one. You didn't think they were going to go away, did you? No way. This kick is going to go out of bounds. So no time comes off the clock with 8 seconds left, and we'll see what Mayville decides to do. Probably give the ball to Landon Baker, and if he pops one, he pops one. But
they're going to make him kick it again.
Oh.
And I like that because, Mayville has the ability to pop one on a return.
That's a good point.
Whether it's Schneider, Keller, or Promersberger, I'd make them kick it again, and they're going to. Right call from Coach Hilber here. Even if you can get yourself to a 50-yard line, you might give yourself a chance at a play.
It's a good point. And if they continue to kick it out of bounds, at some point you're going to get some good field position out of it, right? So it's worth the gamble. The up man on that side of the field is Wendorf. We just talked about him in the secondary, so see if he gets an opportunity. On the near side, it's
Paxton Decker.
He's a depth piece at running back, so these guys have, and this one's going to the far side. Wendorf takes it in, and he's going to be tackled at the 40-yard line. So good coverage by Lake Country Lutheran. Down to 5 seconds left. And a good job by LCL not to give up anything cheap at the end of that first half after they get a bunch of momentum heading into the locker room, perhaps.
Yeah, and I think you just need this out if you're Coach Scott Hilber. You might give it to Baker on just in a run attempt. Maybe he pops one off, but I think you just need it out. You're happy with a 7-point lead going into half. Obviously, there was a chance you could have got more, just a fumble from Emerson Middlestead. We talked about it last week, but there's going to be no reluctancy to give the football right back to him.
Middlestead does drop to a knee, so it's halftime. here at Slinger, and we have a dandy for you here on Radio Plus. Coming up next, we'll have our Metalcraft of Mayville halftime show, and right now, Mayville trying to bounce back from that late first half turnover. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back with our halftime show right after this. You're watching on Radio Plus.
Dedication, training, giving 100%. Back in Action proudly supports high school athletes on and off the field. From physical and occupational therapy, pre- and post-orthopedic surgery, to work and sports injuries. The staff at Back in Action is trained and dedicated to you and your recovery. Your personal care plan starts with a visit to Back in Action in Fond du Lac, Kewaskum, Mayville, and New Holstein. Back in Action, getting you back in the game. BackinActionRehab.com.
From our initial consultation to the final closing, I'm with you every step of the way, ensuring a smooth and seamless home selling experience. My goal is to make the home selling process smooth and worry-free. For a smooth and successful sale, contact Brock Fleischer at 920-960-0555 or visit WeSellWisco.com.
Let me get you in this used car. There's a bunch of...
Yeah, that's what it feels like at most used car dealerships. Pushy sales tactics, pressure, and no peace of mind.
Schaefer Auto makes buying a car simple and safe with every vehicle inspected, backed by warranty options, and easy financing that fits your budget so you can get approved online and drive home with confidence. Schaefer Auto, no tackles, no pressure, just the right car for you.
Katie's Log Cabin is a great place to stop for lunch or dinner, grab one of the daily specials, or check out the full menu. Katie's Log Cabin specials include Tuesday is pizza, Wednesday is wings, Thursday is a rotating special, Friday and Saturday is fish fry, Saturday is also prime rib, and Sunday is a broasted chicken dinner. Not in the mood for a special? Katie's has you covered with full menu options, appetizers, salads, wraps, pizzas, and sandwiches. Katie's Log Cabin Restaurant in Oakfield. Life is better at the cabin.
Your dream space starts with quartz countertops from Quest Interiors. Whether it's your kitchen, bathroom, mudroom, or even a closet island, we custom fabricate one-of-a-kind surfaces that elevate every room. And the best part? We install many in as little as 1 week, quickly turning your vision into reality. Visit our showrooms in Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. Quest Interiors, exceptional style, exceptional savings.
At Mayville Savings Bank, we're a bank that is here for you, helping you save money instead of piling on service fees. We still take walk-ins, no appointment necessary. We're a bank where your loan is a local decision, with friendly employees that still answer our phones. A bank that offers online and mobile banking. We're a bank where you're our best interest. Bank at the bank you own. Mayville Savings Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Computer Troubleshooters of Fond du Lac and Dodge County, providing a full variety of services such as cybersecurity protection for business and residential, password and authentication management, virus removal, device repair, and all support in between. They also sell new and used computers and laptops. Computer Troubleshooters, offering pickup, drop-off, and remote support. Computer Troubleshooters, your trusted technology experts at 322-8566. That's 322-8566. Log on ctfdl.com.
We return here to Slinger High School, and we'll give you a quick update from Northwestern and Stratford. That one going on at Chippewa Falls. Northwestern just picked up a first down, which should end the first half. Northwestern leading Stratford 12-0, and that's the other side of this bracket. So that's a potential matchup at state between the winner of this game and the winner of that one up in Chippewa Falls. And obviously Stratford, a very good team. They're going for state championship number 4 in a row, 2 of them in Division 6. Last year they are the defending Division 5 state champion. And they are right now down 12-0 to Northwestern. Here, Justin, this thing is totally different than it could have been here at halftime. Our halftime brought to you by Metalcraft of Mayville. 14-7, Justin. Before we get to the stats, just from a Mayville perspective, we saw the coaching staff discussing there. What's their plan? What's that conversation look like right now?
Yeah, you think you're coming out of that in Lake Country style. You think they're coming out kind of stealing some points and with a chance to maybe even tie it up after the half. If you're Mayville, you're actually happy with what your defense has done because minus LCO getting the ball at the 30-yard line and scoring off of a fumble, you turn the ball over deep in your own territory, the other team scores. But other than that, they haven't picked up anything. Mayville's done a great job containing Connor Lubbers. He's found ways to get himself moving around and in the pocket, get receivers to make a play and downfield. But if you're Mayville, you're happy with what's going on. You're liking the way that your guys are flocking to the football. It's a gang tackle at all times. And your defensive line is doing a great job getting pressure on Lubbers, making him have to get out in space and try to make a play.
On the other side of the football, offensively, Mayville's also got to be happy about that, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, they drove the football down the field multiple times. I mean, you had the fumble from Middlestead, and that's pretty much it. Your first drive got stalled a little bit, but Mayville has looked very good. You get stopped on a fourth down. You immediately respond with a 3-and-out defensively. Then you take a 66-yard play touchdown. It is just two different styles of things. Oh, thank you very much. And it is like, to me, I like watching teams that have that kind of resiliency. To me, there's nobody that I see in a coaching aspect, I know we talk about this every week, that has his team more prepared than Scott Hilber.
No doubt about it. Welcome up here into the Radio Plus broadcast booth here at Slinger High School. Yeah, it's interesting, Justin, because you kind of feel like you've lost your two mistakes were both self-inflicted. You get stopped on a 4th and 1. Now, they made a great play, no mistake about it. I know Coach Hilber believes that anytime they're in a 4th and 1, they need to pick up that 1 yard, right? And then, obviously, the turnover, you put the football on the ground and you tie up that turnover game. Obviously, two of them that you feel like maybe you left some points out there with.
Yeah, I mean, you're just looking at a point where Mayville needs to kind of buckle up here because, I mean, LCL's getting the ball to start the half, and they have guys that can make a fantastic play in the return game. That's the first start of it. You have to make a good kick from Millsden. You have to find a way to keep it out of playmakers' hands. But then your defense has to get back to work, and Mayville's defense has done a great job to start this one. Obviously, a bend-don't-break model at the end there. But I would like to see a little bit more pressure from them defensive backs. They're sagging off a little bit. You saw it. I mean, there's 15 seconds left in the half. They run a hitch route to pick up a first down, but your D-back's 10 yards off the ball. You know they're just trying to pick up that first down. They have that timeout in their back pocket, and that's not one of their better receivers. You can get up on him, play up on him. Don't let him get that ability to pick up that first down.
So 14-7, we're going to take a timeout here in the halftime show, and then we'll come back with some stats here in just a moment here on Radio Plus.
Call PT Tire and Service in Brandon, the automotive experts. Beat the Wisconsin snowfall. Stay charged this winter. PT Tire and Service, full service, batteries and wipers available on site. Call 920-346-TIRE. Put Christmas lights on your tree this holiday season, not your dashboard. Call PT Tire and Service to get those lights in the right place. Over 20 years in business and ready to service your automotive needs. PT Tire and Service, Brandon, 920-346-TIRE.
Welcome to Hooksha's Marketing Greenhouse. Here at Hooksha's Marketing Greenhouse, we are proud to provide South Central Wisconsin with the most beautiful flowers and freshest fruits and vegetables. In the fall, we have many varieties of squash and pumpkins, to just name a few. We are also proud to offer one-of-a-kind gifts like hanging baskets, iron hangers, decorative planters, and concrete statuary. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for more info and pictures. So come on out to Hooksha's Marketing Greenhouse, located on Highway A between Fox Lake and Randolph, and you'll be glad you did.
This winter, make your home the coziest place in town with Surefire heating and air conditioning. For 3 generations, the Surefire family has been serving Wisconsin homes, bringing warmth and comfort to your families just like yours. As the temperatures drop, trust the company that's been in the business of keeping homes warm for over 75 years. This is Tom Schwartz with Surefire. Call us today and ask about our rebates that can help you save big on your comfort this coming winter. Visit us at surefireinc.com.
Rediscover the hometown lumberyard experience in your own backyard. Hi, this is Dave, third generation of the family-owned and operated Lidke Lumber True Value in downtown Lamira. I welcome you to experience what the hometown lumberyard has to offer. Better products, better advice, better service. From one O-ring to all the building materials to build a house, we had the products to get the job done. Hardware, plumbing, electrical, paint, lawn and garden, automotive, bird, and so much more. Come experience what your hometown lumberyard has to offer. Lidke Lumber True Value in downtown Lamira, where the tracks cross Main, or online at lidkelumber.com.
At the Pioneer Keg, great food meets a fun atmosphere. Dive into their full menu featuring award-winning cheese curds and our homemade pizzas that are simply irresistible. Try the famous Brewmaster Challenge, where the food takes center stage. And if it's Friday, get ready for our amazing Friday fish fry. Check out our relaxed atmosphere, hang with friends, where everyone has a good time. Come thirsty, come hungry, and leave happy. The Pioneer Keg, 122 South Milwaukee Street, Theresa, Wisconsin.
Let me get you in this used car. There's a bunch of...
Yeah, that's what it feels like at most used car dealerships. Pushy sales tactics, pressure, and no peace of mind.
Schaefer Auto makes buying a car simple and safe, with every vehicle inspected, backed by warranty options, and easy financing that fits your budget so you can get approved online and drive home with confidence. Schaefer Auto, no tackles, no pressure, just the right car for you.
Thank you for your continued support over the past 50 years. At Verhaeg's Furniture, we're honored to be voted by you to be one of the best mattress stores in the Fond du Lac area for 2024.
Our mission is to bring the finest in style, comfort, and quality to the Waupun area.
We've teamed up with amazing brands like Ashley, Lazy Boy, Bestcraft, Marshfield, Best Home Furnishings, Mega Motion to offer you the best selection around.
Free delivery to Waupun and the surrounding area. See store for details.
Make your home a place you truly love with Verhaeg's Furniture Market.
Welcome back here. Metalcraft of Mayville, our halftime show. 14-7 the lead for the Cardinals over Lake Country Lutheran. What's Coach Scott Hilver telling his boys down there in the end zone there, Justin?
I don't know. He always seems so relaxed. You never know what he's actually saying. He doesn't. Every once in a while, you get him a little bit fired up, and that's because it looks like something he sees on the defensive side of ball that his guys didn't do when he set things up. But he's probably he's going with his guys and saying, "We got here for a reason. What we're doing is working right now. We just got to slow down their offense. We don't let them get any momentum off them scoring that late in the half."
We'll get some statistics here for you. Let's start with Lake Country Lutheran. Connor Lubbers, 5 for 9, 69 yards and a touchdown. Lubbers also has rushed for 12 yards, but he's been under pressure all night long. He has a fumble that he lost as well. Receiving-wise, Ethan Hans has 52 yards and the touchdown. Chase Schomburg has 17. Connor Stipik has 11, and Gavin Mosier with 6. And for Mayville, just want a correction there real quick. Schomburg has 0 catches. I saw the target and thought it was a catch. For the Cardinals, Landon Baker, 17 carries for 79 yards and a touchdown. Emerson Middlestat, 3 for 45 and a score. Joe Promersberger, 3 for 24 yards. Emerson Middlestat, 1 for 1, a 6-yard completion to Tanner Schneider. And Justin, obviously, you have the scoring for the scoring rundown. Mayville takes a 14-0 lead on a couple of long drives, but maybe not as time-consuming as we're used to. Probably their most time-consuming drive was the one that ended up with 0 points when they turned it over on 4th down and 1.
Yeah, they had that 6-minute and 55 second drive to start the game. They scored in 4 minutes on their next drive, and they scored in 2.5 minutes. But they have that ability to go either way. They can score in 2 minutes. They can score in 8 minutes. LCO can't let this game get back to 2 scores. This game gets back to 2 scores. Scott Hilber's going to run that ball 4 or 5 yards at a crack every single time.
That's obviously the Lake Country Lutheran side of that. They want to try to keep this thing tight. Just to finish out the thought, we were kind of ending on that first half. Here's your opportunity from a Lake Country Lutheran Lightning fan perspective. It all looked kind of bleak. 14-0. They turn it over. They get it 3rd and 1, and they get stopped on 2 straight plays. Turn it back over to Mayville, and it's looking very bleak. Minute and 50 seconds. They hadn't stopped them. Odds are Mayville's going to run out the clock, and then the fumble. Now they get the football back, just down 7. Here's the chance to potentially tie this thing up, take all the momentum, and then see how the Mayville Cardinals respond.
Yeah, and you're going to start this half with the football, and this is my key from LCL here. You have to score on this first drive. Whether it is 3 or it is 6, you have to get points out of this drive because Mayville's going to take that football and they're going to try to kill 8 minutes off that clock. And one thing they didn't do in that first half that we saw them in the last couple weeks is Landon Baker got the ball 17 times in that first half. Tanner Snyder only got the football 5 times. And the wingbacks did not get the ball a lot. We saw Promersberger get used a little bit more with the option game than we've had in the past. Have to find ways to get the ball to these two guys in space. And we did not see the home run play from Mayville in that first half. We didn't see that. Our favorite play to watch, that reverse. And it's coming. At some point today, that wingback dive with the reverse to either Promersberger or Schneider, it's coming. And it's got all kinds of pulling parts in the offensive line position. It is so confusing to stop as a defense. Mayville's going to run it here at some point. It's going to be either 2nd and long or a 3rd and long.
Be interesting to see how this second half plays out. All I know is this is totally different than we thought it was going to be just a few minutes before halftime hit. All right, let's take another timeout. We are about 3 minutes away from the second half of action here on Radio Plus.
Join Ahern and build a better future. Ahern is a mechanical fire protection and fabrication contractor that's been doing business in our community for over 145 years. They're now hiring and typically recruit over 180 positions from across the company. Trades, apprenticeships, office professionals, internships, and much more. Log on to aherncareers.com to learn about the company and the positions they're looking to fill. Build a better future for yourself and your community. Go Cardinals from Ahern. Ergo Bank, we know there's a deposit account to fit your unique needs. Whether you want to earn interest on your balance, or perhaps enjoy cashback rewards, or maybe grow your money over time, Ergo Bank makes it real easy. From savings and checking accounts to savings accounts and, of course, CDs. We can do it all while offering flexible options and convenient access for a banking experience that's built just for you. Ergo Bank, better banking by design. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Early withdrawal penalties may apply.
From tires and transmission, batteries and brakes, to engines and exhaust, the service experts at Mayville Tire are trained to keep your vehicles at peak performance. Whether you need routine maintenance or reliable repairs, you can trust Keith and his team to take care of you and your vehicle. Ask about free pickup and delivery, no interest financing, as well as commercial truck tire service. Find the service experts at MayvilleTire.com. Mayville Tire, honest mechanics, happy customers.
Looking for a reliable roofing contractor? WIT Services has got you covered. With 5 years of experience, they specialize in everything from roof repairs to full replacements. Their team is dedicated to quality workmanship and customer satisfaction. Plus, they offer free estimates, so you know exactly what to expect. Whether it's a leaky roof or a complete overhaul, WIT Services is the go-to choice for all roofing needs. Don't wait. Reach out today.
You've dreamt of the kind of home you want to live in for years. Now is the time to turn that dream into a reality. Quest Interiors has you covered with flooring, cabinetry, and countertops all in one place. From kitchens and bathrooms to family and bedrooms, bring your vision to life with professional installation. Visit our showrooms in Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. Quest Interiors. Exceptional style, exceptional savings.
We're just about ready for second half action here. Jordan King, Justin Schwartzmiller with you, Josh Guy steering the ship. And we got cameras all over the place, as we always do here on Radio Plus. 14-7 heading here into the second half. Our third quarter is brought to you by Maxwell Plumbing. When you're not watching games on Radio Plus or Jeff's live streams, find the latest scores and top performers from the Flyway Conference by following Flyway Focus on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Stay up to date with the latest conference news every morning with the Flyway Focus Sports Report. Here is the opening kickoff for the second half, and a return coming out to the near side. It's well defended by Mayville, plus a flag coming in. Ball's on the turf, and getting back on top of it is Connor Stipik, and that was almost a massive, massive start to the second half for the Mayville Cardinals. Saw that flag come in at the middle of the play, and we will check what the call is, and it's a hold on Lake Country Lutheran. So not what the Lightning wanted to start their second half of action, as they will have that marked off half the distance after the return. That'll go down to the 8-yard line. But for Lake Country Lutheran, they're just happy to have the football back, Justin, after that one hit the turf.
Yeah, and it was just an unforced error. He just dropped the ball. It wasn't like Mayville poked it out or anything. It was just dropped by the returner, and great job by Stipik to get back on top of it. But Lake Country will start at their own 8-yard line, and Mayville's loving this. They get the opportunity to get their defensive line to go to work here as LCL comes out in that pistol package.
A massive field staring Lubbers right in the face here to start the second half. Lubbers, as you mentioned, in the pistol. He's going to keep it far side. He's going to roll out. Nice rollout. He's got Moser out there, and Moser is got a first down. And just like that, Lake Country Lutheran has it out past the 20 to the 25, and the scrum pushes out of bounds right there. And a good first down play for Lake Country Lutheran.
Yeah, Lubbers does a great job rolling out in the pocket. It's a design rollout, finds Moser over the middle, and haven't seen a receiver get that open from LCL. They tight coverage, and at Middlestat just a little bit too far off in that zone coverage. Finding that first down marker was Moser, and picks up a hard-fought extra 10 yards, pushing the pile and keeping his legs churning.
Great hustle by that offensive line from LCL as well. 5 receivers out in the pattern. It's going to come near side with Hans. Hans with a couple of blockers. He's dragged down by a couple of different Cardinals on the near side. Tate Drinkwine, the first one there. But Hans picks up about 4, second down and 6.
Yeah, trips formation, just looking for screenplay. Get the ball into your playmaker's hands, and Hans will pick up about 4. I think they'll give him 3.5. But right there, Mayville does a great job. They get extra guys to the ball, and that's one thing they just have to do against receivers like this that have the speed and the ability and size that LCL's receivers do. And now you're in this situation. LCL's throwing the football a little bit more. Now you got to find a way for your defensive linemen to make a play.
Lubbers looks to the far side. Another screen play, this time to Baranek, the first time that Baranek's had the football tonight. And he's got a first down, and that time he didn't have anyone pushing him. He just took 3 cards past the first down marker by himself.
You saw this in the end of the last half. LCL looking for those little hitch routes, just quick things to pop in these zones. Mayville has to find a way to get someone to step up and make a play. You saw Weston Teeters there. He just was a little bit too far out of a zone there. You got to get your linebackers to drop into that space there where them hitch routes can be caught by those slot receivers for our LCL.
So another first down as the Lightning continue with all the momentum here since the turnover by Middlestat. Lake Country Lutheran has possessed the ball. Here is Baranek. Baranek near side trying to get to the edge. He does get to the edge, turns upfield, and he's belted out of bounds by Emerson Middlestat. Big hit by the quarterback, but a pickup of 6 for Baranek, and just his second touch of the night, but he's got LCL in second and medium.
Yeah, just a little swing pass, and they're not looking downfield. They're just looking for short hitters because there's opportunities for LCL to make a big play in this zone. Mayville's not. They're giving them 5-6 yard passing plays. They're never going to try to give you anything downfield. They want to keep the receivers in front of him. But LCL with a great halftime adjustment and realizing that they have space to get short yardage cracks.
Tyson Groff back in at running back for the Lightning. Here's Lubbers, far side, another screen pass. Hans, another first down, runs through an arm tackle, taken down by Schneider into Mayville territory. And this screen game, quick pass game is cooking for the Lightning right now, and Lubbers is in some sort of rhythm.
You see every one of these guys running a hitch. And again, the defensive backs are sagging off too far. You're going to hear Coach Hilbert. He's going to try to figure out to get his guys up a little bit. But at some point, LCL is going to throw in a wrinkle. There's going to be a double move. You're hitch and go, and you're going to see Hans running down the sidelines.
First down and 10. First play of the second half from Mayville territory. They've already driven this thing 50 yards, check it, 45 yards. Here is the double move. Going downfield, he's got Baranek! Baranek catches it at the 15, he's gone! Middlestat tried to bat it away, he was a step late, and Parker Baranek takes it 44 yards to the house, and Lake Country Lutheran is an extra point away from tying this thing up.
5 receivers on the field, double move from Baranek. The hitch and go right over top. What a throw from Lubbers over the hands of Emerson Middlestat. Talked about it right before the play happened. A little Christmas theme going on in the Lake Country Lutheran student section, and they're fired up. And I'm wondering if they're going for 2 here. They're taking a long time here. They are.
They're going to try to take the lead. They've only had 5 successful 2-point conversions. They've all come through the air. Lubbers takes the snap. He's going to try to throw it up to Hans. Hans slipped, so he goes back over the middle. There's Baranek, and Baranek has got it for they call it the octopus in the pros when you score the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. All 8 points for Baranek, and Lake Country Lutheran has a lead.
Yeah, just, again, Lubbers doing a great job scanning the defense and his receivers. I said it, you can't give these guys a chance to be able to get plays in the middle of the field. Mayville's defensive line has to find a way to step up and make a play. What a job by LCL's O-line right there to hold them off and him be able to find Baranek over the middle of the field for the 2.
Lubbers is so much fun to watch play the quarterback position, I tell you. He's just so much confidence. He's a big-bodied quarterback, and he steps in and has made some big throws. Here's the kickoff, and it's going to go to Tanner Schneider. Catches at the 9-yard line. Tanner Schneider out past the 25, cuts to the near side. He's driven down by Teddy Kokokevich.
I was wondering when we were going to say
Let's
that name.
Let's go. I hope I did it justice. I've been practicing it ever since I got the pronunciation pregame. Kokokevich.
And if you look at the name on the roster, I would never have guessed Kokokevich. I would have guessed the Kavich part, but not Kokokevich. What a play by him. And, again, Mayville just doesn't seem like that explosiveness is there. And Tanner Schneider, that was running too upright. He was not low. He was not behind his pads. Kokokevich did a great job wrapping him up and just throwing him down. Schneider looked like a sophomore in that situation.
And he's off to the side right now meeting with the trainer, and Wendorf is onto the field. So we'll keep an eye on that, as Tanner Schneider's been a big deal in this running game, especially here in the postseason. So 1st and 10 at the 27, and Mayville trying to get some momentum back, and here's a pre-snap penalty on a false start for the Cardinals. They're behind the sticks just like that, and Mayville is a little bit shook right now, Justin. They got to find a way to get this thing under control a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't seen a ton of flags today in this. We've seen now 2 in this second half, and Mayville doesn't really get a lot of offensive line penalties. There was a lot of movement. There was multiple players that moved on that left side, and which is the best side of the line for Mayville. Now you got 1st and 15, and let's see if they maybe go into a bag of tricks here. You're down 15-14. LCL's got a lot of momentum right now. 2 straight scores from them, and your offense needs to get some points on the board.
1st and 15, not really the ideal situation for Mayville and their wing T offense. Here's the snap. Schneider is back out there, by the way, and here's Landon Baker. Runs a man over. There's the ball. Pops loose. It's Lake Country Lutheran football. Fumble at the end of the play by Landon Baker. He had it stripped away, and it's lightning ball. And it just gets worse for the Cardinals.
What a play by the quarterback, Connor Lubbers. You're going to see it him. I think it was him and Kokokevich actually in that. Oh, no, it's 17. But I think Lubbers was in here as well. Somebody pokes this ball loose. It's coming from behind it. I think it's actually Kokokevich right there. Will rip it loose out of the hands of Baker. Lubbers will fall on top. And LCL creates a turnover once again deep in Cardinal territory. They'll start at the 37.
We'll see if we can re-rack that. Very close on the knee there, but the call was that Landon Baker had it pop out. Here is a shot play right after the turnover, and it's an overthrow for Lubbers. He went deep, just like they do so often. Here's that play once again. And again, this is such a hard call. I don't want anyone to misconstrue this as me complaining. We just have the opportunity, so let's take a look. Here with Landon Baker at the end of this play. And So there's the knee
he's-
down.
the ball
might
coming
be
loose.
moving.
It's
Yeah,
coming loose,
I
and
tell you
it
what.
is a fantastic call by those officials.
And they have not missed a thing today.
No.
Whether it's the touchdown at the end of the first half, a couple of really tight spots we've seen. It's really close play, and you got to give those guys some credit with how they've officiated this game here tonight.
And Mayville, look at this. You're 3 receivers, 2 receivers to the top.
Yeah.
This is empty set. Mayville's never seen this kind of offense.
Here is Lubbers. Quarterback draw meets Stager. Stager drags him down. Pickup of about 3. And so it's going to be 3rd down and 7 as Owen Stager able to just drag down Connor Lubbers after a short pickup. Drinkwine also in there as well. And Mayville desperately needs a stop here, Justin. It just feels that way, doesn't it?
You know it is, and this is a momentum thing, and LCL's got a lot of momentum right now. They've scored on 2 straight possessions. They got that 2-point conversion to take that 1-point lead. You're deep. This is where your big guys have to win, and that's the thing. It's the biggest key for Mayville here. The receivers are going to get open, but your defensive line has to make a play at some point.
Here's Lubbers, drops back to pass. Carpenter comes off the edge. Lubbers steps up, got a seam. He's going to have the first down inside the 25 down to the 22. Nice run by Connor Lubbers, and that is what makes him so difficult. Carpenter comes screaming up the outside. Lubbers runs right past him.
You're going to, if we had the replay on this, you're going to see this on this Bernard Plumbing replay. Lubbers just slips right through the sack and the seam of Stager and Carpenter. Those 2 guys have to find a way to make that play. But again, the shiftiness of Lubbers to shift his hips can just squeeze right through there. He picks up 12 and a first down off of what looks like should have been a 10-yard loss on a sack.
His mobility, whether it's extending a play to pass or to run in that situation, has been just tremendous tonight. 15-14, Lake Country Lutheran leads on the Brock Fleischer Real Estate scoreboard. Under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. Man in motion. Here goes Lubbers back to pass once again. Carpenter faces him up. It's a deep ball down to the end zone. Emerson Middlestad off his hands.
Now, I don't like ripping on officials, but you're going to see it here on this replay. This is an obvious hold on 65. Owen Stager is getting grabbed and held the whole time around that outside shoulder because they don't want the honorable mention All-Stater to make that sack. That ball could have been and probably should have been picked by Emerson Middlestad as well.
Just thrown wide enough from Lubbers there that Middlestad couldn't quite get his hands on it.
You'll see it here.
But a great job by that pressure. There you saw it, Justin. You called it. Harder for those receivers to get open when Lubbers is running for his life.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Mayville has to keep him running for his life. Don't give him the chance to get in a rhythm and get the ball out quick.
Trips to the top. Here's Lubbers. He's going to sprint that way. Mayville has a man pop free. It's Hans yet again. Hans is just so good. Shifty. Not only does he have the size, he's got that agility. You know, they used to say about some of those NFL receivers, T.O., Randy Moss, they can get open in a phone booth is what they said. They got good footwork. I'm not saying Hans is going to go play in the pros anytime soon, but I tell you what, he's so quick on those out cuts. It's just so tough to deal with.
It's like, if you're term of a Packers fan, it's like watching Devontae Adams previously. He's got the footwork where he gets separation so quick, and he's 5 yards away from somebody with one cut.
Third down and medium for Lake Country Lutheran. Man off the edge with Stager. Here's a jump ball. End zone. Batted away. And a nice job made there by the collaboration of Emerson Middlestad and Tanner Schneider in the corner of the end zone. They spike it down, and it's going to be 4th down. We'll check what LCL wants to do.
What a play from Schneider to get his hand and high point that football. And you go back on that replay, what you see out of Owen Stager, it's a stunt on that Mayville defensive line. Stager comes off the outside untouched, forced Lubbers. You see it right here. He forces Lubbers to get rid of this ball just a little bit. Groff had no chance to chip him. And again, once again, Stager hitting the quarterback. Keep hitting him.
4th down and 5 for Lake Country Lutheran. 2 receivers to either side. Here's Lubbers. He's going to go for the corner of the end zone. Way overthrown for Lubbers. And it's a turnover on downs. A couple of receivers on the far side. Mosier in particular was open. He had his hands up in the air, but all the way there they were looking for Baranek, I believe it was, on this near side.
It was Baranek, and what a stop. you needed your big guys to step up for Mayville. They did. They got pressure in on Lubbers. Now you need to get things rolling offensively here. What worked on those first 3 drives has to be found again. Maybe try something wrinkled. They haven't thrown the pass. I think they threw the ball 1 time today. They threw that 6-yard pass, 1 for 1 as Emerson Middlestat. Look for them maybe to try to find a way to get the ball downfield to Promersberger or Schneider.
You mentioned it, just 8 carries combined in the first half for their wings. See if they get them more involved as well here in the second half. Obviously, with the false start last time on first down, made it very difficult behind the chains. Here is Joe Promersberger. Promersberger trying to get to the edge, and there's a hold by Bronecki right on the edge. And that was right at the point of attack, and the white hat saw it right away on this near side.
Yeah, Bronecki tried to let go of him, too, to make it look like he didn't hold him, but it is the right call, and it can't be going backwards. Both teams finding that we're getting a couple penalties now, which we did not see in the first half at all. You got to clean things up here if you're Mayville. Now you're in a 1st and 20 situation. You want to get that 10 yards back right away. My guess is you'll find Landon Baker up the middle on this play at some point.
Kokakevich was the man that was held. So technically it's half the distance, so they'll move it to the 9.5-yard line. So, but just about 10 yards for all intents and purposes. First down and 19.5 for the Mayville Cardinals. Got to get the ball out to the 29-yard line for a first down. They have 2 receivers out in the pattern here. The first time we've seen this formation for Mayville tonight. The give is to Landon Baker. No, it's Emerson Middlestat. Straight up the middle, has a seam, picks up about 6. Make it 7 out to the 17-yard line for Emerson Middlestat. They gave him 8 on the carry. So that helps get some of that penalty yardage back, Justin.
Different look, midline read option. And I talked to Mayville's coaching staff a little bit before, and even Scott Hilber's normally not one of the guys to share trade secrets around, but he said they've been working on some stuff, some different looks to try to throw teams off, and they come out with 3 receivers, which you never see from Mayville, but they run that little midline read option play, and good keep again from Middlestat, but willingness to go back to him after a fumble.
Coach Hilber did say in that interview, wanted to get his guys in space more often, see if they can do that. Here is Zitlow. Zitlow catches the screen pass. He's got about 6 or 7. He's got another 8. They walk forward again. The ball all the way out to the 25. It's now 3rd and 4. Nice job on a couple of creative plays here, Justin, to get back into this thing for Mayville.
On that replay, you saw Joe Promersberger just get a little bit of a chip on Kokakevich. Right here, you see it just bumps him a little bit. Kokakevich could have had 6 if he's not hit cleanly, because that was not a hard enough thrown ball on that screen pass from Emerson Middlestat.
Good point there. Great play by Promersberger. And now it's 3rd down and 4. Not probably a situation where Mayville's going to go for it on 4th down. You feel like you probably got to pick up the 4 here on 3rd down and 4. Here is Landon Baker. Baker's got a seam. He runs over Kokakevich, and he's out to the 37-yard line. Make it the 38 for Landon Baker with a nice run.
It's been bottled up a little bit on these last couple drives, and there you see a guy who is a generous 5'10" in the program. He's probably 5'8", and he's looks like he's about 205 because he runs like a man. And guys that are way bigger than him in the secondary look small because he lowers those pads and keeps those little legs churning.
About 4.5 minutes or so left here in this 3rd quarter. That has been all LCL, but here comes that reverse. And it's Schneider. Schneider, well played. And Lake Country Lutheran, this is not the first time we've seen this for LCL. They stayed home on the misdirection, and just a pickup of about 4 for Tanner Schneider. It's first, 2nd down and 6, excuse me.
Good play from Evan Roll. He keeps that and pushes that back inside. Honestly, if it was the Promersberger, I think he had more room just to keep it. And Evan Roll did a great job staying home, forcing Schneider back up the middle of the field. But again, what I'm seeing from Tanner Schneider is a reluctancy to get below his pads. He's staying upright and running too upright. He's got to find a way. He's a big kid. Get low. Run through some of these guys. Keep those legs turning.
And we've seen it in the past.
Yes.
That WIAA game sticks out in my mind for sure. 2nd down and 6 for Mayville at their own 42-yard line. Middlestat back under center. Here's Baker near side. Baker's got a little bit of a seam, and he's out near the 50-yard line. It's another first down for Landon Baker. Another first down for the Cards.
And this offense looking a little bit different now. Your holes are opening up. The offensive line is winning, and the clock's just going to keep ticking. And Mayville will take their time driving this football down the field because they feel their defense can win them this football game.
You know, we've talked to a lot of really smart coaches over time, Justin, and I know you and I have both had conversations with coaches about how do you stop this wing T, and they've mentioned the patience of staying home and knowing how hard it is sometimes for maybe high school athletes to stay with their assignment and how important it is to play assignment-based football against a wing T offense. And I think LCL's probably doing as good a job as any team that we've seen this year in that assignment-based football.
Well, we talked to Brian Weber about it last week. Yeah. And after the football game, we talked to one of Lameyer's defensive coordinator about it, and he said it's assignment-based football. And again, LCL doing a great job staying home, forcing Mayville to have to win at that offensive line position. But this is where your bigs got to be your bigs, and somebody's got to make a play for either team at this situation.
Here's Emerson Middlestad on the keeper, able to shed a tackle in the backfield, and that is a nice play by Middlestad to just pick up 2 as he got hit after maybe in the backfield there and was able to make a couple of yards. You know, that second half, Lameyra played as good a half against Mayville defensively as anyone did. And, you know, talking to Coach Weber last week, it was kind of interesting to get that insight on this Mayville offense.
Now you're in a 3rd and 4.5, 3rd and 5, and it is probably go time if it does get the 4th down here for Mayville.
Here's Landon Baker. Baker stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He's driven backwards, and it's going to be 4th down and long. And now decision time comes for Coach Hilber.
David Niels again. He's made some big plays for this team, and a punt team's going to come on.
The patience here shown from Coach Hilber, I think, is that's the true testament of maybe a more mature coach than an experienced coach that Coach Hilber certainly is, and looks like he's going to try to pin him back. Although last Lake Country drive started on their own 8, and they were able to drive it all the way down the field. Here's a snap to Wendorf. Baranek waits inside the 20, and it takes a Mayville hop. Check that. That was Hans back there, excuse me. And after the Mayville bounce, it lands at the 16, Justin.
Yeah, good punt, and you'd like to see maybe a little bit more. Wind has picked up a little bit. It's now blowing straight into what would have been the punt for Devin Wendorf, but Mayville's got to get a stop here. They got that stop they needed, but now you have to find a way in this situation to stop a throw because they're not going to run the ball. Running the ball has not been working for LCL at all today. They have not been able to go to between the tackles. They haven't been able to go outside. Yeah, they might throw some wrinkles at you with Lubbers in the run game, but Mayville's just spread out here once again defensively.
Here is Lubbers. He's going to run to the right side. Lubbers off tackle and breaks a couple of tackles. He's got about 6 or 7. You know, to your point, Justin, after first play of the ball game offensively for Lake Country Lutheran, they tried to run it with Tyson Groff. Since then, I don't believe a running back's touched the football.
No, they've been trying to find playmakers' the ball in space. They've handed it to Baranek once, I think, on an end around, but the ball stayed in Connor Lubber's hand, and it's the right choice. I mean, he's as advertised. I actually think he's probably better than I thought he was going to be. We saw such a great quarterback last week with Amherst, and he is up there in the top quarterback in the state in Division 5.
Here's Mosier. Mosier, nice play by Tanner Schneider, who is able to hit Mosier in the backfield, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5, and that should probably wrap up this 3rd quarter as Lubbers heads over to the sidelines. So we will head to the 4th with the Mayville Cardinals trailing 15-14 on the Brock Fleischer Real Estate scoreboard. We're back with the 4th quarter right after this on Radio Plus.
At the Pioneer Keg, great food meets a fun atmosphere. Dive into their full menu featuring award-winning cheese curds and our homemade pizzas that are simply irresistible. Try the famous Brewmaster Challenge, where the food takes center stage. And if it's Friday, get ready for our amazing Friday fish fry. Check out our relaxed atmosphere, hang with friends, where everyone has a good time, Come thirsty, come hungry, and leave happy. The Pioneer Keg, 122 South Milwaukee Street, Theresa, Wisconsin.
Angling-only guide service with Captain Jeremy Brenner.
Captain Jeremy Brenner here. We are the premier Lake Michigan salmon charter out of Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Each trip is 6 hours and includes fish cleaning. The cost is $400 per trip Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and only $340 on weekdays for up to 6 people. I personally guarantee you will catch fish. The season runs June through Labor Day. Contact me at anglingonlyfishing@gmail.com to book today and check out my Facebook page, Captain Jeremy Brenner, Sheboygan Salmon.
We're back here to start the fourth quarter with a big-time 3rd and 5. Jordan King and Justin Schwartzmiller with you in the Radio Plus broadcast booth at Slinger High School. Great facilities here, beautiful facilities here. And just what you would expect, a 1-point contest heading here to the fourth quarter. 3rd down and 5 for Connor Lubbers and this Lake Country Lutheran offense that has barely put a foot wrong since about a minute and a half left in the first half. Here is Lubbers. He's under pressure right away. He's able to extend it. He looks to the far side. He's dragged down in the backfield. It's Tate Drinkwine. A loss of nearly 15 on the play. And he's dropped at the Lake Country Lutheran's own 9 after forward progress. It's about a 10-yard loss after forward progress was given to him. So Baranek will come on to punt, and it'll be Schneider and Promersberger, which will give Mayville, you would assume, Justin, very good field position. As you mentioned, sides flipped. Now LCL has to punt into the wind. Mayville comes through with Branecki. This one is angled toward the far side. This is going to be inside the 30. This might be down at the 25-yard line. Let's check the spot.
And that one was way hung up in the wind because it was a good punt, and it just got so high that the wind just pushed it back, and it will be right at the 25-yard line. What a spot. What a spot call, Jordan. But
it took me 4 quarters, Justin, but I am locked in now.
Let's go back to that sack.
Yeah.
And that's a coverage sack. And Mayville with a nickel package that we have not seen from them today. They brought Teeters out, brought an extra defensive back on the field. That is an adjustment they've made against this LCL offense. And they're finding ways to get all their playmakers on the field defensively. And again, coverage sack. He gets through the arms of Stager, but right there is Drinkwine to make a play.
So they move it back to the 26. That's where it's 1st and 10 for Mayville. Schneider comes in motion. Here goes Tanner Schneider. Near side on the left. And once again, staying home, this Lake Country Lutheran outside linebacking core led by their main man, Evan Roll. He's an all-conference performer. Now, the Metro Classic doesn't have a first, second, honorable. They just do all-conference and then honorable mention. And he's an all-conference outside linebacker.
Yeah, and he does a great job standing up at the running back again. And I'm going to sound like beating a dead horse here, but Tanner Schneider, again, he's just too far upright. You got to get lower. You got to be able to you're bigger than a lot of these kids on the field. He is a very big sophomore. He has to find a way to run a little bit more athletic.
Here goes Schneider yet again, and this time he's stacked up. There was no penetration that time from the Mayville, no push from the Mayville offensive line, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down and 8. Fourth quarter is brought to you tonight by the Meeting Place and Mayville Golf Course. Everyone is invited to enjoy delicious chef-created cuisine at the Meeting Place located within the Mayville Golf Course. View the menu, specials, and upcoming events at meetingplacemayville.com. That's meetingplacemayville.com. The Meeting Place and Mayville Golf Course, they're proud to support high school athletics. 3rd down and 8 for the Mayville Cardinals. Promersberger in motion. Middle stack keeps, looks to the far side, throws it over the middle of the field. It's knocked away. Nice play. Dropping out of his linebacker spot there was number 52, Devin Neals. He's made a bunch of big plays in the run game. That time he knocks it away on the pass.
And he had Schneider on the far side right away. Just didn't see him. He's got to make that throw right away. Looking over the middle of the field for Wendorf. Now it's 4th and long and out of field goal range for Milsna. I mean, with the wind, you might think about it, but there's no thought. Hilber's going for it. He wants his team to score here. And they've had these 3rd and long situations today. Now it's 4th and long in a most likely must-pass situation.
And onto the game is second-team all-conference tight end Tate Drinkwine. Here is misdirection. Promersberger on the ground. Promersberger, a seam! Touchdown, Cardinals! They keep it on the ground, and Promersberger houses it from 25 yards away.
And what you're going to see on this Bernard Plumbing replay, they talked about this. A little counter play with a pitch. I talked to Dan Decker before the game. He mentioned this play coming in for Mayville. They had never run it before. A new wrinkle into the offense for Joe Promersberger to get your guy the football. Mayville's got to go for 2 and make this a 7-point game, though.
It's the right book play here, the right math play to go for 2. Last time they went for 2, it was an utter disaster. They had 2 players run the same route. One of them ran the incorrect route and ended up knocking the ball away from each other.
And this wishbone-style formation they like to run here.
Here is Schneider. Schneider falls forward. Is he in? He is not. Half a yard short was Tanner Schneider on that near side trying to rush it in for the 2-point conversion. I'll tell you what, Baker might have moved anyways. They might have gotten away with a false start there with Landon. Yeah, he's leaning forward. Landon Baker, they didn't call it, and it doesn't hurt LCL anyways. And their great shot by our crew. Knee down about a half-yard line. So it's a 5-point game, Justin, here with 9:36 to go. And enter scene Connor Lubbers once again.
Yeah, and again, now we're kick the ball. Oh, wait. You might. They did in the last one, kicked it to an up back. You might want to just kick it to an up back again because both of these guys that are back here for LCL can pop one at any moment.
Yeah, Baranik's returned 2 for touchdowns already this season, and he's going to get a chance here. Here's Parker Baranik, and he's feeling his way through the return men, and he's stopped at the 31-yard line is where it's whistled dead. And so that's where Lake Country Lutheran will start its next drive. That time, Justin, Mayville, I'd love to see any defensive backfield stay with these Lake Country Lutheran receivers. There's just so much talent with the embarrassment of riches they have out wide. But the pressure was the difference on the last drive.
Yeah, you see it from Mayville here again. They're going for that one linebacker look, and I like this. Put your best guys and best athletes on the field and try to stop them in the pass game.
They got 4 down linemen. Here is a pass to the near side. Here's Groff, Tyson Groff with his first catch of the game. And other than the carry that he had on the first play of the ball game, that's his first time touching the football. He got 10, and it should be a first down here depending on the spot. Looks like it, based on where that referee put it down, it should be a first down. There it is. First down, Lightning.
That is a big fella. Rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling. He's a big boy. I believe if I remember when I looked.
5'10", 200.
Yeah, and he's every bit of 200. At 5'10", being 200 is a big boy.
That's without all those pads on that he's got out there. I remember watching both Nathan and Tyson Groff a season ago, and I thought, man, those look like wrestlers out there. I don't know if they are, but they're just tremendous, and they know how to use their leverage. Here's a pass to the near side. Once again, we see Connor Stipik in action. He's had a couple of kick returns and now catches a pass for about 7. Second down and short upcoming for Lubbers and the Lightning.
Again, when Mayville got their stops, it was because of their defensive line. And I can preach it all day. And you see they go out of that nickel look. They'll put take Schneider up, put Teeters back in at linebacker. But maybe throw a blitz in there. Try something. Try something to get some pressure on Lubbers and force him to make a mistake.
3 receivers out and 2 backs this time, and there's Groff out of the backfield. That's who he's looking for. Now going to go down. He's got Hans down there, and it is batted away at the last second from Ethan Hans. It was a little bit underthrown, and that gave the opportunity, I think it was Wendorf that last touched it, to get back and make a play. It was Wendorf that threw his hands up and then clattered into him. And that was a big play waiting to happen.
Yeah, and what you can't do if you're a safety on this Mayville team is let Hans get behind you, and they did it. And they got lucky is the way I say that. You had 2 guys going back to the football, but that ball was underthrown. If that ball was thrown on the money for Hans, that's 6.
Again, into the wind. We've talked about it a couple of times. Perhaps the reason Lubbers didn't get there, and Coach Hilber, well, that might have been the fastest we've seen anyone run tonight to get that timeout. down the sideline. Let's take a timeout with them and catch our breath here with 8:48 to go on the Brock Fleischer Real Estate scoreboard. Mayville leads Lake Country Lutheran 20-15. Stay with us.
From tires and transmission, batteries and brakes, to engines and exhaust, the service experts at Mayville Tire are trained to keep your vehicles at peak performance. Whether you need routine maintenance or reliable repairs, you can trust Keith and his team to take care of you and your vehicle. Ask about free pickup and delivery, no interest financing, as well as commercial truck tire service. Find the service experts at MayvilleTire.com. Mayville Tire, honest mechanics, happy customers.
We return here on the Brock Fleischer Real Estate scoreboard. 8:48 to go. Here tonight, a big third down. You would assume Lake Country Lutheran has 2 plays to get it. Once again, trips to the top. One receiver down here at the near side is Baranek. Lubbers, shotgun snap, sprints out to the left. That time he cuts back in. He's met about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, falls forward. I think he's got it. Based on the near side spot, he does. It'll be first down for Lake Country Lutheran into Mayville territory.
Good job by Lubbers. Break through a couple sack attempts and pick up that first down. It is a designed pass, but he's looking and finding space all the time, looking for a lane to run. And LCL, again, a great job not holding any defensive linemen. They've done a great job. The one to play that I saw, a clean hold on, was not called, but they've done a great job making sure their quarterback can get this space and move around without getting a penalty flag thrown on him.
I don't know if I've ever seen someone, and this includes some running backs, some good ones we see in the Flyway Conference, that have been wrapped up by Schaefer and Teeters and drug them 2 yards forward. That's what just happened there. Baranek in motion. They're going to try a double move. They got a man far side. It's a little underthrown. Keller knocks it away. Once again, looking downfield for his top target, Ethan Hans. And once again, perhaps the wind playing its part here with an underthrown football that Keller nearly picked off.
No, that one was just, I think he just kind of didn't step into it enough on the Bernhard Plumbing replay. It just a little bit, to me, a good throw. It was a good throw. It just, Keller's got to make that play. At this stage in the game, that is the play that you need. And if you lose this game, you go back and look at something like that and are like, that was our chance. That was our ability. But you're still at 2nd and 10 here, and the ball's at the 49-yard line. Find a way to make a play.
Have not seen many first down incompletions from Lubbers tonight. We have not seen a ton of 2nd and 10s. Schaefer comes through. Here's the pass over the middle. It's batted away. Nice play in the secondary by Emerson Middlestat, meeting Baranek at the point of the catch and knocking it away.
Yeah, just, again, find a way to get through, but right here, that's another one I think they missed in the holding it. It's close, and you're getting that outside arm wrapped around Teeters as he's trying to come in. And right there, Mayville dialed up a blitz, which they have not done a lot tonight. A linebacker blitz. Teeters came in, tried to make a tackle, but your best players got to be your best players right now on 3rd and 10. Mayville in that nickel package once again.
Trips to the near side, one receiver to the top. They're going to try a double move with Mosier. Mosier going deep. This one's out of bounds, and it's going to be 4th down and 10. And Lubbers did not give Mosier a chance on that particular opportunity. A shot play on 3rd down and 10. And we'll see what the call is here. Obviously, the call going to be made here, Justin, knowing that team that you're playing against is Mayville. That can really churn out the clock. You mentioned it at halftime with their ability to knock time off the scoreboard.
And CLCL kind of fighting over it, but I think they're going to go for this. And it's a gutsy call, because if you turn this ball over here, you're giving this Mayville offense, I don't think they can kill 7:45, let's say, off the clock to score before they would score.
Right.
But you're giving it to them in Primo's position.
There's the hand from the referee. 10 seconds left on the play clock, and here is a timeout from Lake Country Lutheran. So we'll take the timeout with them. We're back in 30 seconds here on Radio Plus Video Sports.
dedication, training, giving 100%. Back in Action proudly supports high school athletes on and off the field. From physical and occupational therapy, pre- and post-orthopedic surgery, to work and sports injuries. The staff at Back in Action is trained and dedicated to you and your recovery. Your personal care plan starts with a visit to Back in Action in Fond du Lac, Kewaskum, Mayville, and New Holstein. Back in Action, getting you back in the game. BackinActionRehab.com.
Back here on Radio Plus Sports. Elsewhere in Chippewa Falls, Stratford trails Northwestern 12-7. And they're Northwestern driving down the field right now. Obviously, that's the other side of the bracket. All you care about is Lake Country Lutheran and Mayville. And LCL coming out in a punt formation. Baranek going to send it into the Slinger night sky. Promersberger drifting back, catches it at about the 5-yard line, and he is slung back. Promersberger just trying to hold on, and he's driven back out of the back of the end zone, and we'll see if there's a flag there. That was very, very late, and there is no flag from the referee. Coach Hilbert cannot believe it, and neither can the Mayville fans. That was, I tell you what, that was very, very late.
Yeah, you see it here on the Bernhard Plumbing.
It's blown
replay.
right about there.
Yeah, and he's still going. He throws him back at it by Hans right there. But you look at that situation, if you are Promersberger and you're backing up inside your 10-yard line, you probably leave that ball go.
Right.
You just back away and let it go into the end zone because that ball did not have the right spin on it for it to spin back and LCL to be able to get there in time. And even then, you just call for the fair catch at the 8-yard line because you lost 2 yards trying to return that ball.
They always say put your heels on the 10, and if it goes over your head, it goes over your head. And that time caught it about the 7-yard line, but I think that was 15 missed on the late hit. Doesn't matter for the Cardinals. They got it at the 5-yard line, and they got to dig themselves out of some deep formation or deep territory, here. And a pickup of about 3 from Landon Baker brings up 2nd down and 7.
Hey, you see why Evan Roll was an all-conference player.
Fun to watch.
And he just pinches in off that outside linebacker position. You don't see many outside linebackers that even get to Landon Baker because he's going straight up the middle. He did a great job getting his gap and running the right. I'm trying to think of my word here. Pursuit angle. The pursuit angle from this LCL defense today has been very good. Hilbert's going to burn a timeout.
And to kind of compound that, he also hasn't given up the cutback lane either, just to tell you how smart and controlled he plays for the Lake Country Lutheran linebacking core. All right, 7:09 to go here. I think we'll keep it here for this timeout. 20-15 on that Brock Fleischer Real Estate scoreboard. Coach Hilbert a little bit late getting that play call in there, and obviously it's a big juncture here for Mayville. Can't take the timeouts with you. You might as well use them here. 2nd and 7. What you going to, Justin? We've seen that misdirection. We've seen the keep for Emerson Middlestat.
We've seen the option plays, but at this point, I think you ride your horse because he really hasn't touched the ball a ton in the second half.
Agreed.
They've been relying on the wingbacks a little bit more. Maybe that's because he plays both ways, trying to give him a rest a little bit. But, I mean, you got 7 minutes on the clock. You have the ball at your own 7-8 line for Mayville. They can kill that in a hurry. LCL does have 2 timeouts, but this is we're getting a first down at a time mentality for Mayville.
Middlestat under center. Man in motion is Schneider. Pitch to Baker. Baker's got some room out the near side. Falls forward. He needed the 15. He got out to about the 13. It's going to be 3rd down and short here for Mayville. I guess that would be the benefit to not having that personal foul called. For them to drive 95 yards, should that happen, a lot of this clock's going to be gone from Mayville's perspective.
What a block by the wing back on the outside and this near side. I think that was Tanner Schneider. He can see, or actually Promersberger. You see Stager come out here. He'll make the block on the outside, but coming back inside and setting the edge right there, Promersberger does a great job with a fantastic block.
3rd down and 2. Here's the give. Landon Baker, he's got the room, and he's got a first down. Nice job to hang on to the football as well as the outside linebacker. I couldn't tell if that was roll. Punched at the football, and Landon Baker got 2 hands on it to make sure he retained possession for the Cardinals. First down.
And I would not be surprised to see Mayville waiting for a hand from this back official. They're going to wait. They're going to take their time, and they're never going to go fast here. They're always a fairly slow offense. Middlestead always goes to the sidelines. They're going to kill as much time as they can with the clock now ticking under 6 minutes.
1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Here is Baker once again, and Baker falls forward for 4 tough yards. And another good first down pickup from their senior leading running back, Landon Baker.
And he just drug Adam Anderson an extra yard or two. We see that a lot from Landon Baker. But today, and I would say LCL has actually done a great job bottling him up. Mayville has had to go to their other guys, and which we expected at some point. You have to find – everyone's going to key on Baker. You have the athletes to make the plays, but can you get it done?
2nd down and 5. They gave him 5 on that, and Baker's going to get it once again. Baker hops through the hole, and he's got a first down out to the 30. And this will stop the clock to reset the chains. Once they start it again, it'll be inside 4:45 by the time the next snap happens.
That is a great block right there by Colton Carpenter. You saw it there on the Bernhard replay. Setting the edge, getting to the second level. Mayville getting their tackles and guards up to that second level, giving Baker room to run, and he's going to pick up 5 or 6 yards if you got tackles and guards in the second level, if they're winning right away at the line.
1st down and 10 from the 30. The pitch to Landon Baker. Baker, makes a man miss in space and dives forward. That was a fun 3 yards for Landon Baker. A little shimmy at the line of scrimmage, and he dives forward for a nice gain.
Yeah, he made Noah Ludke look silly. He just one little stutter step, and Ludke lost his footing on the turf. But the hardest fought 3-yard run I think we've seen tonight. And Baker, he has that ability to make guys miss. You just don't have to see it very often because he runs between the tackles.
And he's usually past all those guys he's got to make miss, isn't he? Or he just runs them over. He's got that in his wheelbarrow too. Man in motion is Schneider. Here is Baker. They are just leaning on Baker. Baker's got a seam. Cuts back. He's dragged down by Lubbers, but he's got a first down.
And it took 2 first downs. Mayville's under 4 minutes now. And cutback. That's a cutback run. That is your running back being so smart and seeing holes. Landon Baker, we can preach a dead cow on this offensive line every day. They are workhorses, and he will be the first guy to tell you in his post-game interview.
He never talks about himself, does he?
They did a great job for me up front, and then even on the defensive line. They did everything right for me to get in there and make the tackle, but he cuts that back and finds a hole that just shouldn't be there.
You are seeing this correctly. There are 11 guys in the box here for Lake Country Lutheran. It doesn't matter. Landon Baker into LCL territory at the plus 45. Another first down. It doesn't matter how many are in the box. Here goes the senior.
And everybody in this vicinity in Slinger knows where the football game. You 1,700 people that are watching at home know where the football's going. It don't matter. They can't stop it. Mayville's offensive line hadn't won a ton today, and we hadn't seen it all day long, but right there we're seeing it now. This is when you're down and dirty, 3 minutes to go, and Mayville got the ball with 7:07 to go, 7:05. They've killed 4 minutes in getting 55 yards.
And they still got 45 to go. Might not need it. Here's Baker again, straight up the middle. Landon Baker dives down, pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8. Still no timeouts taken by Lake Country Lutheran. They're trying to do some math in the head. Obviously, they only have 2, so using it on first down is a little risky. You got to hopefully, from a Lake Country Lutheran perspective, just the thought process here. Obviously, one more first down in Mayville, they just got to start popping them. But the thought process here, Justin, is it's risky to use it on first down, because then if they pick up the first down right after that, you're pretty much up a creek without a paddle.
You see Middlestead waiting for that backside official to move his hand.
Here is Baker once again picking his way. He's going to pick up about 3, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5. There's the timeout from Lake Country Lutheran. We're going to take a 30-second timeout, and then we're going to come back, finish this ball game out. Mayville a 5-point lead with 2:03 to go. They're 2 minutes and 3 seconds away from a trip back to Madison. Back after this on Radio Plus.
From our initial consultation to the final closing, I'm with you every step of the way, ensuring a smooth and seamless home selling experience. My goal is to make the home selling process smooth and worry-free. For a smooth and successful sale, contact Brock Fleischer at 920-960-0555 or visit WeSellWisco.com.
Back here with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left in this ball game. I don't know if I set that up properly for people at home if they were just tuning in. LCL only had 2 timeouts. That's why I was making the point about first down being risky. They only had 2 timeouts, so you use it there. They're hoping they get a stop here, and you use it once again on third down.
The question is it 4-down territory for Mayville?
Ooh, I gotta believe it is, Justin. Here's Baker once again. They don't need it! Baker into the open field at the 10, at the 5, dragged down at the 1. He's out down at the 1 with a $1:52 to go.
You almost want him to go down right away there. Like you're pleading your case. What a run by Landon Baker. It looks like he might have even got a chance to get stopped up right away there. Breaks through the tackle of, again, there's Adam. Mayville just did a great job again, winning at the offensive line. Obviously, Baker not with that breakaway speed. He gets caught at the end, but what a run, 40 yards all the way down to the 1, and 1:43 to go. You punch this in, this ball game's over. Even one timeout left, you can kill as much clock as you really want. You can almost kneel it out.
They are actually, the clock might work for that purpose. And here's Emerson Middlestat. He gets pushed in, little tush push of their own, and the Mayville Cardinals lead it 26-15 on the Brock Fleischer Real Estate scoreboard.
And another year, and most likely another trip to Camp Randall for Scott Hilber. Unbelievable. Since he's came back to Mayville, he has done a fantastic job. What is that now, 3 and 5 years?
3 and 5 years for Mayville. Start heating that bus up next Thursday for a trip down to Madison. Couple of silver balls in the trophy case. They're hoping that they can come back with gold next week. But obviously they still got to survive a $120. And we have seen an onside kick recovered in the last 7 days involving these Cardinals. Here's Milsna's extra point. It's up, it's good. 27-15. When you're not watching games on Radio Plus or Jeff's live streams, find the latest scores and top performers from the Flyway Conference by following Flyway Focus on Facebook, Instagram, and X. And you can stay up to date with the latest conference news every morning with the Flyway Focus Sports Report. There you go. We'll have all the coverage from this one. Elsewhere, Stratford just hit a big pass. They were within 2 with Northwestern. It's 15-13. Over on the other side of the bracket, they went for 2, weren't able to get it, so they had an opportunity to tie things up. Northwestern has the football, and there is 2:24 to go in that one. Stratford's got all 3 timeouts, so they'll try to get the football back. As for us here, the Mayville Cardinals are 1 minute and 20 seconds away from booking their 3rd trip to Madison. In the past 5 years, it would also be their 2nd postseason win against Lake Country Lutheran in the last 5 years. They lost 2 years ago in the playoffs. That was in level 2, 16-14 that loss. That one was muffed and taken in at the 25-yard line. Oh, here's a return, and I'll tell you what, that was a little nervy for a second as Teddy Kokakevich came through there and nearly busted that thing off. But Mayville able to make the tackle with 1 minute and 11 seconds left on the scoreboard.
Simplest way to look at this, you're playing prevent defense the whole way here. You have your 4 defensive linemen on the field, but you're having as many D-backs on this football field as you can. You're keeping everything in front of you. You have 1 minute and 11 seconds. LCL has 1 timeout left. Just have to find a way to keep everything in front of you.
Wendorf, Middlestat, the 2 safeties, and 3 cornerbacks are out there. This one's tipped at the line of scrimmage. It's Owen Stagger. Busts through and gets his hands up at the line of scrimmage.
What we haven't seen a lot of Owen Stagger making plays because the offensive line from LCL has been so good. Since that sack, he's kind of been bottled up. He makes a big play in a big moment in this game.
The 3 cornerbacks out there trusted. Actually, there's really 4 of them. Kevin Keller, Joe Promersberger, Tanner Schneider, and Brady Zitlow. The 4 players out there in the secondary. Here's Baranek on the far side. He's going to be out of bounds, and he might have lost a yard, but at the very best got back to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down and 10 with 1 minute and 3 seconds left. And the Mayville fans can feel it.
I'm confused why you're not going down the field. I mean, you're down 12. It's 1:03 to go. Little screen plays aren't going to help you. You can try to get your guys the ball in space all you want, but Mayville doesn't care about that. They will knock you out of bounds after a gain of 10. That doesn't matter. The clock's on their side.
3rd and 10. Lubbers in the shotgun. Lubbers to the near side. Surveys the field. Has to come underneath once again, and there's Hans with the catch. A pickup of about 8. It's going to be 4th down and short. And obviously that time you can understand it where you got to get the first down in the next 2 plays, right, to at least extend this ball game. And Hans made a catch that time, but a nice job over the top with that umbrella defense for Mayville.
Yeah, you're looking to the sidelines here. Everything LCL is going to look for is to the sidelines. They want to be able to stop this clock. They only have 1 minute. Obviously, the clock stops when the chains get reset, but you're never going to run the ball in this situation. You might see a quick little screen play or one of those little hitch plays here from Lake Country Lutheran.
Lubbers back to pass. Under pressure. Drinkwine. It's a hold. It's going to come back. Forget about the rest of this. Oh, never mind. It's picked off. Don't forget about the rest of it. Emerson Middlestat seals the game for the Cardinals. It's going to be declined on the hold, and the man who turned it over right before halftime makes good at the end of the game. It's Cardinal football. They're going back to Madison.
Unbelievable, and Drinkwine, there was no stopping him on the outside there. You had to hold him because he came in almost untouched.
How about his second half?
He's had a great second half and a little bit of a blunder from him last week. We talked to Hilbert. He was supposed to be on the whole other side of the field on that 2-point conversion play. He almost tried to catch it, but what a second half from the senior, and they're going back to Camp Randall.
Wow. I wasn't gonna out Tate Drinkwine, but now that he's redeemed himself, now we can say that he ran the wrong route last week. That's all right. It's all right, Tate.
I wasn't gonna say it until he made a good play.
There's the kneel down from Emerson Middlestat. He'll have to do it one more time, and then the Cardinals can let the celebrations begin. And you've seen it tonight by our great camera crew. This stands is full of Cardinal fans. A great turnout from them. Middlestat drops to a knee. And for the 3rd time in 5 years, the Cardinals will play for a state championship. They win it 27-15. Wow.
Unbelievable. Yeah, we said it. At some point, your secondary had to make a big play, and what a play from Emerson Middlestat. Now 6 combined interceptions between him and Joe Promersberger on the year. The clock finally runs out. Mayville's going back to Madison to take on the winner of Northwestern and Stratford.
We'll have that winner for you by the time we sign off the air tonight. But what a contest between these 2 Division V heavyweights. And we would be remiss to not give a big tip of the cap to Connor Lubbers and the performance he put on there tonight, missing his top 2 running backs, running the football, extending plays, excellent passes, but comes up just short against these Mayville Cardinals here at Slinger.
Yeah, we talked about, you and I had talked previously, we thought Amherst was a very good team, and we didn't think we'd see a quarterback that could live up to Amherst's quarterback. Lubbers he might have even exceeded him.
I would say.
Because with what he lost and didn't have this week, the effort that senior quarterback put through from Lake Country Lutheran, that is incredibly impressive to me. That is a kid that's going to go far in life.
I would say, what a performance from him. What a performance from Hans out wide as well. And obviously this is the other side of playoff football as you see careers come to an end. But I tell you what a Connor Lubbers, keep your head up, young man. What a performance here tonight. Let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll be down on the field. We're going to grab some post-game interviews as the Cardinals celebrate a trip back to Madison. But I think Coach Hilbert would be the first to tell you can celebrate this one tonight. Job's not finished just yet. The final, 27-15. We're back with our post-game show right after this. Or we'll keep it here as we see the Mayville Cardinals receive their recognition, and they're going to play the school song with the students over there.
Unbelievable. You can hear all the kids singing. I love this kind of stuff. I mean, it's
what makes high school sports
It's high
so
school
great.
football, exactly.
I've said it numerous times this year, Justin, that we've had so many terrific games that we've covered here on Jeff's live streams and Radio Plus Video Sports. This is the stuff that makes this stuff better than what happens on Saturdays, and better than what happens on Sundays, and I won't debate anyone with it. Because what you're seeing right now, rushing the field, getting out there, celebrating with your classmates, celebrating with your community, that's what makes it great. Let's take a timeout. We're going to have our post-game show brought to you by the Metal Craft of Mayville when we return here on Radio Plus.
Let me get you in this used car. There's a bunch of...
Yeah, that's what it feels like at most used car dealerships. Pushy sales tactics, pressure, and no peace of mind.
Schaefer Auto makes buying a car simple and safe with every vehicle inspected, backed by warranty options, and easy financing that fits your budget so you can get approved online and drive home with confidence. Schaefer Auto, no tackles, no pressure, just the right car for you.
Katie's Log Cabin is a great place to stop for lunch or dinner, grab one of the daily specials, or check out the full menu. Katie's Log Cabin specials include Tuesday is pizza, Wednesday is wings, Thursday is a rotating special, Friday and Saturday is fish fry, Saturday is also prime rib, and Sunday is a broasted chicken dinner. Not in the mood for a special? Katie's has you covered with full menu options, appetizers, salads, wraps, pizzas, and sandwiches. Katie's Log Cabin Restaurant in Oakfield. Life is better at the cabin.
Your dream space starts with quartz countertops from Quest Interiors. Whether it's your kitchen, bathroom, mudroom, or even a closet island, we custom fabricate one-of-a-kind surfaces that elevate every room. And the best part? We install many in as little as 1 week, quickly turning your vision into reality. Visit our showrooms in Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. Quest Interiors, exceptional style, exceptional savings.
At Mayville Savings Bank, we're a bank that is here for you, helping you save money instead of piling on service fees. We still take walk-ins, no appointment necessary. We're a bank where your loan is a local decision, with friendly employees that still answer our phones. A bank that offers online and mobile banking. We're a bank where you're our best interest. Bank at the bank you own. Mayville Savings Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Computer Troubleshooters of Fond du Lac and Dodge County, providing a full variety of services such as cybersecurity protection for business and residential, password and authentication management, virus removal, device repair, and all support in between. They also sell new and used computers and laptops. Computer Troubleshooters, offering pickup, drop-off, and remote support. Computer Troubleshooters, your trusted technology experts at 322-8566. That's 322-8566. Log on ctfdl.com.
Call PT Tire and Service in Brandon. The automotive experts. Beat the Wisconsin snowfall. Stay charged this winter. PT Tire and Service. Full service. Batteries and wipers available on site. Call 920-346-TIRE. Put Christmas lights on your tree this holiday season, not your dashboard. Call PT Tire and Service to get those lights in the right place. Over 20 years in business and ready to service your automotive needs. PT Tire and Service, Brandon, 920-346-TIRE.
Welcome to Hookstra's Marketing Greenhouse. Here at Hookstra's Marketing Greenhouse, we are proud to provide South Central Wisconsin with the most beautiful flowers and freshest fruits and vegetables. In the fall, we have many varieties of squash and pumpkins, to just name a few. We are also proud to offer one-of-a-kind gifts like hanging baskets, iron hangers, decorative planters, and concrete statuary. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for more info and pictures. So come on out to Hookstra's Marketing Greenhouse, located on Highway A between Fox Lake and Randolph, and you'll be glad you did.
This winter, make your home the coziest place in town with Surefire Heating and Air Conditioning. For 3 generations, the Surefire family has been serving Wisconsin homes, bringing warmth and comfort to your families just like yours. As the temperatures drop, trust the company that's been in the business of keeping homes warm for over 75 years. This is Tom Schwartz with Surefire. Call us today and ask about our rebates that can help you save big on your comfort this coming winter. Visit us at surefireinc.com.
We're back here on the field at Slinger High School. Thanks for joining us tonight. What a game, Coach. You guys, I just said, that third quarter maybe didn't go the way you guys had hoped, and you head to that fourth quarter trailing by a point. What did it take from these guys in the fourth quarter to get this thing done?
Patience. They had to have patience. They had to, and our coaches had to do a good job of making adjustments. They really came out in the second half with a great game plan. Really picked on us and nailed us, but we adjusted, went a little smaller, and and just had to tighten them up a little bit. We really had to challenge our athletes this week. Lake Country really puts a lot of stress on you with their athleticism and their speed, but we tell our guys, we're a grinder team, but we got athletes too. You guys can run, and they showed that tonight.
Even when you went smaller, so impressed with what your defensive line did in terms of getting pressure on them. That was a big difference in that fourth quarter. What can you say about all those guys up front?
It's just all heart. We weren't doing a lot of stunting. We really couldn't. We had run out of guys. We had to put them all in coverage, and we really relied on them to have to put pressure on the quarterback with just 4 guys. And they were able to do it all night. And we said, hey, we know you're tired. We did a little bit of rotation in there. We know you're tired. You just got to give her.
I know what the answers could be to this question, but Emerson Middlestad again just bounces back from a bad bounce again. Has that unfortunate turnover, and whether it be the touchdown runs in the second half, just running this offense, gets the pick there at the end to seal this thing. Real easy to root for a guy like that, huh?
Well, of course. He's a gamer. We said it all season. He's our commander on both sides of the ball. When we were struggling there, I said, hey, Emerson, you got to do a good job of really getting these kids in the right spot. And we lean on him on both sides of the ball. I'm really proud of that kid. For a scrawny little dude that he is, he's tough as hell. He's tough as nails.
Look around here. These moments are awfully special, Coach. You've been part of a lot of them, but this community is something else, huh?
Yeah, I was really pleased with what I saw in the stands tonight, and I was happy to get the home side. That was really important, but it was more important that we filled it, and I could actually hear people, and I usually don't hear anyone, but I was hearing them all night long. We love our community. I love this town. I love this school. And it's a great time to be a Cardinal. Headed back to Camp Randall. That sounds pretty good, huh? It does. We like going camping. We get to go on the other side this year, so maybe we'll get a different result.
There you go, Coach. Congratulations on the win. Best of luck next week. All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. We're gonna bring Colton in right away. Colton Carpenter.
How are we doing?
Good. How are you? Tell me what's going through your mind right now.
We're going to state.
Coach, I'm going to start with what I just finished with, Coach. Look around here, this community, these people. This is a pretty special place that you guys get to play for and represent, isn't it?
Yes, sir. There's so much love from the community. We'll be at school, the teachers. Last week, I had a teacher tell us she was in tears watching our game because she just couldn't believe it. But it's so great having so much love from the community.
Coach talked about the athleticism, the speed, everything that this Lake Country Lutheran team brings to the table. He challenged you guys this week. He said, you guys are athletes too. You guys can run too, but you guys up front still took care of business. Talk about what it took on the offensive and defensive side of the football here tonight, particularly trying to contain Connor Lubbers. What a quarterback he is, isn't he?
Yes, sir. What a wonderful athlete. But we just got to trust in each other. We got to do our jobs. We did a wonderful job communicating. Owen Stager, we'll come up to the line, we'll talk it out in the huddle. As soon as we got there, we're pointing things out, saying, I got him, you got him. Gerald as well. great job. Defense, we're so used to working to each other, and there's such a bond between each other. I know that Stagger's going to go up the gut and just scare him a little bit, so I got to hang around on the outside and wait for him to flush him out.
Getting the block for Landon Baker and the rest of these runners, that's got to be a ton of fun, isn't it?
Oh, my gosh, it is just wonderful. I know I can do my job, and no matter – I could maybe screw up a little bit, and Baker's still going to do what he can to make up for it, but we all do our jobs.
Was there any doubt when you guys got it at the 5-yard line that you guys were going to drive down the field here?
No, sir. We knew. That's what we do. That's Mayville football.
Congrats. Go enjoy this one. Good luck next week, all right?
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it from Colton. We'll let Justin sneak back in here, and then we'll try to find a couple of other players here for our post-game show coverage. Let's give you some numbers as we do. Hopefully we'll catch Landon Baker as he walks around here, but let's give you some numbers. Connor Lubbers, we talked about him and the great season he had. How's 17 for 31 for $188, 2 touchdowns, and then that last interception at the end there. Great season for him. Great night tonight. He also rushed for 24 yards, but you got to take into account that there were a couple of sacks in there that took away some rushing yards that he otherwise would have had. Top receivers today, Ethan Hans, 80 yards on 11 targets. He had a touchdown. Parker Baranek made the big play on the 46-yard touchdown. He had 59 total yards receiving here tonight. For Mayville, Emerson Middlestat, 2 for 3 for 13 yards. He also ran it for 57 yards. Landon Baker, 211 tonight on 33 carries, 6.4 average. Justin, all those stats, what sticks out to you?
You throw the stats out the window at the end of the football game because the ball's going to 24. We said it before the drive. They did not give the ball to anybody but 24. And that was his best drive of the game. And it looked like he was maybe they gave him that rest a little bit on offense to keep him reared up for defense in that second half. But that last drive looked like a man on a mission to get this team back to Camp Randall.
We talked about it up in the booth. Coach just talked about it as well. They had to go small there in the fourth quarter. But as they did, the pass rush got even better somehow. It's the credit to those guys up front. And, again, the guys in the back end did their jobs too. But, man, that pass rush was nasty in the fourth quarter.
Well, and I think you get a little weared out, too, if you're LCL towards the end of the game. You're battling against big kids all day long. And Mayville outsized them, and it was very clear, obviously maybe not height-wise, but weight-wise, physicality-wise. That's what you're going to see from this Mayville football team. And they did everything right in that second half, late in that second half. The beginning of the second half wasn't great, but they found a way. They persevered. Once again, a Scott Hilbert team doing something right at the end of the game to find a way to win.
I'll tell you what, let's send it back up to Josh. I know we're through on ads. If we can run 30 seconds, let's try to track down a couple of other players so we can talk to them down here on the field as Mayville celebrates another trip back to Camp Randall. Third time in 5 years. We'll be back in 30 seconds down here on the field at Slinger. Stay with us.
Rediscover the hometown lumberyard experience in your own backyard. Hi, this is Dave, third generation of the family-owned and operated Lidke Lumber True Value in downtown Lamira. I welcome you to experience what the hometown lumberyard has to offer. Better products, better advice, better service. From one O-ring to all the building materials to build a house, we had the products to get the job done. Hardware, plumbing, electrical, paint, lawn and garden, automotive, bird, and so much more. Come experience what your hometown lumberyard has to offer. Lidke Lumber True Value in downtown Lamira, where the tracks cross Main, or online at lidkelumber.com.
At the Pioneer Keg, great food meets a fun atmosphere. Dive into their full menu featuring award-winning cheese curds and our homemade pizzas that are simply irresistible. Try the famous Brewmaster Challenge, where the food takes center stage. And if it's Friday, get ready for our amazing Friday fish fry. Check out our relaxed atmosphere, hang with friends, where everyone has a good time. Come thirsty, come hungry, and leave happy. The Pioneer Keg, 122 South Milwaukee Street, Theresa, Wisconsin.
We're back here at Slinger High School. We're tracking down Landon Baker for you. We'll talk to him in just a moment. As we do, just went final up in Chippewa Falls. Northwestern takes down Stratford. So it's going to be Northwestern against Mayville next week at Camp Randall. That's the 4 p.m. game on Thursday. So some Thursday afternoon viewing for you. I would expect the entire community of Mayville to be down there. So if you need a doctor's note, I heard Josh is signing him up in the booth. So there you go. Here's Landon Baker. All right, Landon. Wow. What's going through your mind?
It's a great feeling. I mean, to come out here and see the stands absolutely packed. I mean, looks like almost our entire city came, and it's just It's great. It's great. We all knew that this team had the capability of doing this, and I mean, us just executing at a great level off and on. The second half came out a little slow, but we were able to retaliate, and it's just great. It's great.
What's it like when you're playing defense? You look around, you're the only linebacker out there. You guys had to go ultra small, 4 cornerbacks, 2 safeties. But as you guys did that, the pressure on the quarterback increased. What can you say about the big guys up front? I mean, Tate was a monster tonight. Owen was Owen. What can you say about what they did against one of the best quarterbacks you're going to see? Lubbers played one heck of a game.
Yeah. They're doing a great job. They're getting in there, and they have him running around in circles within maybe half a second, and my job was mainly just to not let him get outside. I had to contain him, kind of spy him a little bit, and they made my job easy in there. They make me have to cover a whole lot less field because he's got to run back and forth in the middle of the field to get away from Owen Sager, Colton Carpenter, all of them. It's great.
7 minutes left on the clock. Punt down at the 5-yard line. Do you have any doubt that the ball is coming to you every single play? You march down the field almost on your own and take it in there and extend that lead.
I would love to take all the credit for that, but I mean, again, my line we knew they were going to be special since the summer. We'd be finishing up lifting, stretching in the side, and they'd get out the ladder and start doing ladders in the middle of the gym. I mean, they're such a special group, and when you're with them, it's really it's just as a whole offense when we get out there, we know if we can execute, no one's going to stop us, no matter who gets the ball. I mean, we're such a force on offense and defense, and it starts with our line.
I want to ask you about a couple of other players. Number one, Ethan Middlestat. Excuse me. What can you say about what he has done this season in terms of both sides of the football? I mean, 2 weeks in a row now, this guy's bounced back from a first half turnover and he's nails in the big moments for you guys.
He's a great player. He's a great leader. He's the leader on both sides of the ball for a reason. I mean, he helps us out. He lets us know what's going on back there and what he can see. And he doesn't get in his head. He can bounce back from things, and that's what you need from a leader in crucial situations.
Devin's been banged up this year. He comes back, played a massive role in the secondary. What can you say about him coming out, gutting it out, and helping you guys in a big way get back to state?
Well, ever since freshman year, Devin's been fighting a little bit of an injury bug. And you hate to see it, but at the same time, he fights through it so well, and he's such a tough guy. And, he wants to be out there. He's wanted to be out there, but they had to limit him a little bit because of his shoulder, and he came out tonight, and when he was in, he did his best, and he did great. I mean, you really wouldn't tell he has a weak shoulder. He sticks his head in everywhere, and it's great.
You guys get to go leave your imprint here at Camp Randall. How exciting is that?
It's great. We went through our freshman year and we lost, and it's been on my mind since then. Let's go back and get a win there this time. I mean, it's a great feeling that finally all the work has paid off, but we're not done yet.
Celebrate this one. Good luck next week. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, appreciate that, Landon. We'll hand this back off here to Justin Schwartzmiller. Bring him back in. Some final thoughts here tonight from Slinger. Couple of silver balls in the cabinet. You get a chance, if you're Mayville here, to go back down, try to win it, make it gold this time. Coach Hilber said this time they get to stand on the other sideline. Maybe it's better luck for the Cardinals this time around. They're going to play Northwestern, who finished off Stratford just a couple of moments ago. Wow, what an opportunity for this program, and what a testament it says to Scott Hilber and what he's done.
Yep, your 2 last undefeated teams in Division 5 going at it in the Division 5 state championship. What could you ask for? I mean, what better thing? Maybe the bad sideline. Maybe it's a bad omen. I don't know. But, this time they get to be the technical home team, and it doesn't matter. This team, the resiliency, we see it. There's bumps along the way. They find a way to get things done, and maybe it's the calming nature of Hilber because he seems calm at every moment throughout a game.
Sure is. Even if sometimes after the game he comes over and says, I sure wasn't calm. Just fourth quarter, backs up against the wall. We've seen it the last 2 weeks. Really the last 3 weeks. You go back to that WIAA game when they were right in the thick of a dogfight. They weren't challenged a ton in the Flyway Conference this year. Just what does it take for a team to see that for the first time in the postseason and just come out and step up in every big moment 3 weeks in a row to get back to state?
And I think it takes good leadership, and Mayville has that. Whether it's your coaching staff or your players, you got senior middle stat in the secondary, and that helps. Promersberger, who's a junior, who's played varsity almost every year. I mean, you have these kids that are younger on this Mayville team that have varsity experience in 3 sports already because they're so athletic, and this is their time where they have good classes. And you talk about a rollover with schools that, they get a couple years off now and then. Mayville's in a situation right now where they have 3 straight years of very good athletes.
Yep. No doubt about it. And in this 5-year span, now 3 trips to Madison for a state championship appearance. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank Josh and all the camera guys. I mean, these guys do such a phenomenal job. I mean, award-winning job by these guys all season long. You saw it once again last week and once again here tonight. What a ball game these 2 teams gave us. Lake Country Lutheran, they deserve to be here, and on another night they might be headed to state if the ball bounces a couple of different ways for the Lake Country Lutheran Lightning. They finished their season 11-2. As for Mayville, 13-0. They move on to the state championship game. They'll play at Camp Randall coming up next Thursday at 4 o'clock, and they will play Northwestern at Camp Randall. All right, Jordan King for Justin Schwartzmiller, for Josh punching all the buttons up there. I want to thank all our sponsors up and down the line. The Metalcraft of Mayville had our post-game show. I want to thank Coach Scott Hilber. I also want to shout out to all of Lake Country Lutheran's administration. They were great with us, getting us stats, pronunciations. They gave us their all-conference list. They were phenomenal as well. So I want to give them a shout-out. Thanks to Slinger. They have great hospitality today. Thank all of you for tuning in here tonight to a great Division 5 state semifinal. This is Jordan King saying so long. Have a great weekend, everyone.